Welcome to Sunderland. Passion, pride, we're side is what the banner reads. Both of these sides beat each other at home last season. Will that bode well for Sunderland, or will Middlesbrough continue their impressive run of recent form against their rivals? Let's find out, shall we? Sit back and enjoy this one in the company of Chris Duellamo and your match commentator, Adam Bridge.
Thank you, Faye. Around 47,000 in the Stadium of Light this Saturday lunchtime. There may be a few miles between these two sides, but what a raucous atmosphere, particularly coming from the Roker end away to our right-hand side. The Middlesbrough supporters that are here are tucked away in the upper tier of the North Stand away to our left. And the two teams make their greetings down below. Friendly, I'm sure, of course. Both were defeated in last season's playoff semi-finals. And as we mentioned already, contrasting starts to this campaign. The youngest starting 11 in the Championship, currently fourth in that table. 5 wins in 6. Only Leicester have taken more points recently, while Borough had their worst start to a league campaign since 1982-83. 40 years, having lost 5 of their first 6 games. But they're in form. All competitions, it's 4 straight wins. And they're coming here to do a job. And their record against Sunderland is pretty decent when these sides go head-to-head. It's the 11th meeting in the league this century, and they have 4 wins each. It's very nicely poised. Sunderland are unchanged from their victory in midweek against Watford by 2-0. Patrick Roberts will come up against his former club, and Jack Clark, leading marksman in the Championship, will look to continue his fine goal-scoring form. Anthony Patterson's in goal, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien and Huggins across the back. Dan Neil in that holding midfield role, with Barr, Roberts, Bellingham and Clark supporting Mason Burstow, of course, who's on loan from Chelsea. He started the last 5 games. Today is number 6, but he hasn't scored in his last 17 appearances. As for Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough, Riley McGree, the latest to go down with illness. Johnny Housen's recovered, having been missing in midweek. He's back only on the bench though, and Paddy McNair, who was back in the starting lineup, is keeping Lenihan out the side after they kept their first clean sheet of the season in midweek. Dieng's in goal. It's Vandenberg, one of today's 2 changes alongside Fry, McNair and Engel. Balaza and Hackney in central midfield. Hackney, of course, in that England under-21 squad that's been announced in the last few days. Jones, Brooks, who's the other change today, and Greenwood providing the support to Coburn, who leads the line. If they need goals, Middlesbrough, they'll look to the bench. Latte Latter's got 2, of course. Marcus Fors has added 1 this season, and there'll be 2 of the attacking options available to Michael Carrick, should he require them. Jared Gillett is the man in charge, on loan for the Premier League to the Championship for this afternoon's lunchtime fixture. It's live here on Talksport 2. And this atmosphere, Chris Duellamo, is something else.
Outstanding. Now, both sets of players, you just have to feed off that. I think for Middlesbrough, they'll try and dominate the ball, which will be hard because I think Sunderland are one of the most aggressive in the Championship. Without it, they'll go and hunt it down in numbers as well. But if you play through that press, get them on the back foot, this crowd, it quiets them down, put the pressure on them, have it be negativity coming into the players and let them deal with that. But like you say, this Sunderland side have shown that they can play no matter the pressure that they're under.
We are off and running in the 135th Teeswear derby, and Sunderland, of course, is the home side, are in their traditional red and white stripes, the black shorts and the red socks. It's the away kit of blue with yellow trim for Middlesbrough, and it's Middlesbrough who have the first throw down this left-hand side as Sunderland are attacking from left to right in the opening 45 minutes.
You fired a few shots at Burstow already in your little intro, but as I agree with you, as a striker, you're going to get judged on goals and goals alone. But what he does everything well, in my opinion. That goal will come, but his link-up play is strong. He's running channels. He works very hard without the ball for the team. And like you say, he started all the games because the manager knows exactly what he's bringing to the table.
You always seem to think I fire shots.
Always, you fire shots all the time, Adam.
I wonder why. It depends who's alongside me. It's Middlesbrough in possession. It's Hackney at the edge of his own penalty area, just down in front in those blue shirts. He's got Dale Fry alongside him, one of 3 who've started all 10 league games so far this season for Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough side. And Dieng just gives it short, and a good high press here from Sunderland, just forcing Middlesbrough back inside their own penalty area. And Dieng, who's all in green away to our right-hand side, will now have the time from the edge of his own 6-yard box. Oh, that's not the best of touches at the edge of the penalty area again from Hackney as they try and play their way out. This time they do.
How good is that, though? That's what you've got to do. This is what Michael Carrick wants from his team. No matter the press, be brave enough to get it out and play through the back. Hayden Hackney there, excellent. Come in and get it. But again, you do invite this pressure.
And they try to break forward against Sunderland here on the counter, and Dieng has to come to the edge of his penalty area and collect. Now it's with Hackney inside the centre circle, who lifts the ball out wide to this left-hand side, where it's collected wide by Engel, who just holds the ball up and then goes to this near touchline where Greenwood is playing in the wide role, as anticipated for Middlesbrough. But there's a foul, there's a free kick, and it will be a chance for Sunderland to clear from inside their own penalty area.
Well, I thought that was excellent from Middlesbrough. Just the play, started from the goalkeeper, Dieng, just keeping it, firing it into the holding midfielder, coming back to the centre-back or full-back. There's 5 Sunderland shots going and pressing. If you can play through that, then you're in behind that attacking 5, and it's on. And then they get caught out because Sunderland worked very hard. Bellingham comes back, wins that challenge, and then it's Sunderland on the attack. Just the quality got away from them a little bit there.
And 5 of their last 6 championship games, as we said, clean sheets in the last 2. It was 2007 the last time they managed to keep a 3rd clean sheet. Now there's been a change in the starting 11 here for Middlesbrough. Tommy Smith is in. Rav van den Berg was down on the team sheet, but Tommy Smith is certainly on the field in that right back position. So one assumes Van den Berg, who's just coming back from a hamstring injury, may well have done some damage to himself in the warm-up. But Tommy Smith definitely in that back line for Middlesbrough away to our right-hand side. And he may have some defending to do, but at the moment the ball comfortably with, on this left-hand side of the field, Paddy McNair.
Well, that's never nice, isn't it? You're dropped for the game, and then you have to kind of get yourself ready to start. I think it just shows you and I know Tommy Smith, for his time at Stoke, he's a good player. I've been quite critical, I think in games he does choose to hide sometimes, but I've got to say for Middlesbrough he has been ever present.
Here's Hackney, just over halfway for Middlesbrough, forced back inside his own half when it's collected by Fry at the edge of the centre circle, and then into Smith. Running forward ahead of him was Balaza again, but instead it's McNair, and they'll patiently keep possession here, Middlesbrough, inside their own half, with Paddy McNair, who ventures over halfway, gets it ball to Greenwood, who's cut in field this time, and he's taken down in the challenge by Joe Bellingham, and it will be a free kick for Middlesbrough midway inside the Sunderland half, and a first opportunity here to maybe test out that back line of Sunderland by pumping the ball into the penalty area.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I thought it was very clever play from Sam Greenwood there. I think he knows that the challenge is coming, just flicks it away from Bellingham and makes an easy decision for the referee to make. This one's got to go. Just beat the first man, right on the money, going into Patterson's goal, bodies running across the front, and hopefully it'll cause the goalkeeper some problems.
We shall see. It's a good angle as well, actually, just to swing this one into that area of uncertainty between probably the left edge of the 6-yard box of Patterson's goal and the penalty spot, as Balaza does lift it in, but he doesn't really get the distance. But Bellingham's just headed it backwards towards his own goal and causing problems for his back line, and in the end the header was away by Trey Hume, and it will go out of play on the far side for a throw in on that far touchline.
See, I don't think it's a bad ball from Balaza there. I think Paddy McNair's came to the edge of the box, just inside the D, and I think he can go and try and make contact with it. I wouldn't say there's enough pace on the ball to cause the keeper any problems, but just try and make some sort of contact and direct it goalwards.
Yeah, Bellingham was unable to do much to try and get it clear, and almost put his own side under pressure. We've had confirmation that he was indeed injured in the warm-up. Was Van den Berg, just coming back from that hamstring injury. As I said, of course they are missing a few at this moment in time. Lewis O'Brien, who'd just kind of settled into the side as well, he's out with an ankle injury too for Middlesbrough. Sunderland without a few too: Sirkin, Pritchard, Ekwa, Dak, and amongst those who are missing for Sunderland today. Depth of that squad being tested as Bellingham tries to step away from Greenwood, but they've won it back here, Middlesbrough, just outside the edge of the Sunderland penalty area with Balaza, and then back to Hackney, and it's McNair on halfway, and again, no surprise that a Michael Carrick side happy to keep the ball and go back inside their own half if they can't quite find the way forward, and it's Coburn who touches it off to that far side, but Sunderland will gather up possession again. Patterson is going to clear from by the corner flag, left-footed, up towards halfway, And this time they have picked up possession. Barr was the player that was trying to win it, but Sunderland will switch play to this right-hand side, and hugging this near touchline is Patrick Roberts. But again, the ball goes out of play, and Middlesbrough will have a throw. And actually, Middlesbrough have started brighter on the ball, haven't they?
No, they have. And to be fair, they did in the game in January as well, here at the Stadium of Light. And to be fair, overplayed in the defensive areas, a little bit too patient with it. But you can see already they're passing it quicker. They've got options when they get their head up, passing it forward. And even when they've got no options on, goes back to the end, they start again.
Coming up to the 7 minutes played here on Talksport 2. As the ball is chased into the left-hand corner, that time by Josh Coburn, and the header is needed in the end from Ballard, and it will be a throw to Middlesbrough, right by the corner flag down this left-hand side. They've taken it a little further back, and infield they go to Hackney again. Balaza is almost has possession taken off him by Barr, but again Middlesbrough will have the throw down this left-hand side, and it's a succession of possession for Middlesbrough.
Well, watch what Middlesbrough do when they're in very good possession. Basically, they go to a 3 at the back. Engel bombs forward as like a wing back. Opposite side, Isaiah Jones. You look at Tommy Smith. One of his qualities is that energy up and down. He's not going anywhere.
And that's been given away. Barr has picked it up at the edge of the penalty area, and there's the foul. This time on Bellingham, and delivered quite cynically by Matt Crooks. And again, they'll take it very quickly. No messing around here from Sunderland. Roberts on this near side has possession. Gives it back to Hume. Back inside their own half. Luke O'Nien, edge of the centre circle. Gives it to Ballard, who goes down. And Crooks, that's a couple of silly challenges in the space of a few seconds. And I think it may well get him a talking to from referee Jared Gillett.
Well, in fairness, I think if the yellow card comes out there, you can't have any arguments. It's a silly foul. I think it's he's no intention of playing the ball. I've got to say it was brave play from Ballard that just got away from his man there. He had no other option on, but Crooks he's got the experience not to make those silly fouls.
Bellingham's made the run down this right-hand side, bursting forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Gives it back to Roberts, former Middlesbrough man, in towards the edge of the penalty area. No surprise, it's picked up comfortably that time by Dan Neal, out wide to that left-hand side. Neal just exchanging passes once more on that far side with Huggins, and they'll keep possession here. Infield it goes to Neal again. Neal slips towards the Barr down the left-hand side. Chance for Barr, maybe to get a crossing. No, cuts onto his right foot, gets the shot away, and it hits the stanchion. Wasn't too far away that time from Barr. He was allowed to cut in on his right foot, and it's a decent effort, but it'll be a goal kick to Middlesbrough.
Fantastic play from Sunderland. I was going to give Dan Neal a little bit there. I thought he could have gave it out to Jack Clark when he's just all on his own. He's decided to go out left to. And then they've kept possession of the ball, but then a little bit of Jack Clark gets the ball, fires it into the pocket to Dan Neal, and then he plays an excellent weighted pass in behind for Abdullah Ba, who he's just got shot on target on his mind. And to be fair, he's opened up the goal well. He has to do better on that final contact.
Chance for Middlesbrough though with Crooks, all that's managed to slip through. It was an opportunity maybe there for Hume to clear from within his penalty area, but he just lost possession of it, and the final ball into the box for Mengel isn't the best down this left-hand side for Middlesbrough, and it'll be a goal kick to Sunderland away to our left-hand side. Barr's having a good season. It's the 7th start of the campaign. He only had 8 starts all of last season. So again, he's another player who came in, and Tony Mowbray's been impressed at how he's progressed.
Yeah, you know what? He's coming in. He works hard without the ball. Very, very technical, very direct, as we've already seen in this game. But like you say, I think he fits the mould of what Mowbray wants. I think he's definitely much a team player. If you want to be overly critical, bring more goals. With the positions that he finds himself in, he's not afraid to get in behind that defensive line as well and get up with Busto as often as he can.
Scored against Watford in that 2-0 win in midweek as well, Barr. He's got a couple of goals so far this season, all coming in his last 6 appearances. A reminder, we do have exclusive live Premier League football for you right now over on Talksport. Luton against Tottenham. It remains 0-0 there, 10 minutes into the game at Kenilworth Road. That's with Dean Ashton and Sam Matterface. Of course, if you have the Talksport app, you can swipe across all of our fixtures, worth downloading, and choose between the commentaries. When we're done here today, we'll be heading off to Old Trafford. Well, what is going on at Manchester United? Brentford, the visitors today in the Premier League. We'll have live coverage of that one for you from 3 o'clock this afternoon, while over on Talksport, of course, as usual on a Saturday afternoon, it's our goal service on Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Ray Parlour and Trevor Sinclair. Burnley taking on Chelsea, Everton against Bournemouth, and of course all the EFL action as well this afternoon from 2:30 over on Talksport. We've been playing for 11 and a half minutes here at the Stadium of Light. On Talksport 2, it remains Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0, and Sunderland just starting to find their way into the game.
Yeah, they're kind of dominating the possession, I think controlling the game a little bit, but Middlesbrough have kind of changed it up. I think 3-4 passes and there's a cross coming in the box rather than being a little bit patient with it across that defensive unit. But like you say, I think both teams have been very good with and without the ball, I have to say.
Greenwood, of course, on loan from Leeds for the season at Middlesbrough. He came through the Sunderland Academy, was born in Sunderland as well, before making a switch away to Arsenal and then getting picked up by Leeds. Good defending at the back that time by Trey Hume for Sunderland, and again Patterson will have the goal kick away to our left hand side.
Again, you're looking at that play there, the ball comes up to Greenwood and he's in an excellent position. I think it's the right pass from Greenwood. Engel's got to get in behind Trey Hume, but he's hugging the line, the sideline, wanting the ball there. You know, sometimes you have to kind of ask that question in behind. The way to pass was excellent. If Trey Hume was on his front foot and anticipated it, he'd have been taking his first touch straight into the goal of Anthony Patterson, and there would have been an opportunity there. So you just got to think, you know, that was 3 passes. They won possession back, there was 3 passes, and they had an opportunity. But Engel is on his back feet there, on his heels.
Possession-wise, certainly Middlesbrough having the better of it in the opening almost 13 minutes of this game, but nothing to show for it as yet as they come forward down the left-hand side once more. Engel is just over halfway. Infield he goes. Short to Balaz, who's fouled by Barr. It was just a shove in the back in the end, and it's an easy free kick that goes the way of the visitors. Michael Carrick looking very casual. It is a warm day. I'll admit we've overclubbed on the clothes. Well, I certainly have. I bought the big coat.
You definitely have. What's going on here?
You know, I saw the forecast and it was going to be windy and wet up here, and actually it's been quite lovely so far. You know what it's like when you come to the north, you have to be prepared.
Bit of Miami Vice going on today, Adam.
I've had all the Crockett and Tubbs jokes since I arrived this morning, don't you worry. There is nothing wrong with a t-shirt and jacket look when at 6:30 in the morning it's all you can find in the washing.
Definitely.
Away to our right hand side, it's Middlesbrough in possession again. Short towards halfway. Balaz's there once more. And it's back with Paddy McNair. McNair, of course, 7 goals in his 28 appearances for Sunderland. Does well. Hackney, nice ball forward. Coburn dropped a little bit deeper to pick it up, and then his distribution is
terrible.
Not very good. I was going to be polite.
No, you're looking at that. It was excellent from Middlesbrough again. There's a little run. Yeah, it's terrible delivery there from Hackney. You know, I've got to say, I think Balza and Hackney, you know, getting on a lot of the ball, seeing a lot of it, but then, you know, I think it was Coburn come off the line there, and it was that ball in behind, and that's when you've got Engel actually. He's making the run for you, but you know what? If you play it behind him, you just take the sting out of the attack. But they've won it back there, Engel.
They have. They're winning it back plenty here. Here's Jones. He's got runners outside to the right-hand side. It's Tommy Smith from the edge of the penalty area. He chips one towards the back post towards Coburn, who gets a flick on it, but can just put it behind the goal away to our left-hand side. And the former Sunderland Academy player almost in for a second time in this game, but still nothing to show for it for Middlesbrough.
You were going to say Tommy Smith's going to take a shot. That's what he should have done. He's driving into the box. He's on the 18-yard line from an angle as well. There's bodies in the box. He's tried a little dink to the back post. It has to be a perfect ball for Coburn to go on into that. Have a shot. The goalkeeper can parry it anywhere. Right angle of the shot, and then you've got runners coming in for the rebound there. Tommy Smith, you just have to have the confidence there, and he doesn't mind having a little shot from distance as well. But that's what you expect there. Opened up Sunderland fantastically well. All that space down the right hand side. He could even take another touch to take it towards goal. He had that much time.
Roberts is out here on this near touchline, hugging the touchline. He's looking a little lacking in confidence, is Roberts. Not what we usually expect of him. He's not delivered the goal return you would expect in the opening 10 games of the campaign. The goal's very much coming through Jack Clark on the far side. But Roberts is once more out on this right-hand touchline, just inside the Sunderland half. Looks to cut in field. He'll be desperate to turn it on against his former team today, and he gets it forward to Barr. The first touch wasn't the best. It got away from Barr, and again a rather cynical challenge, but Jared Gillett keeping his cards in his pocket.
I hear what you're saying about Patrick Roberts, and if you notice in this game, I think because they're they're not winning that possession game at the minute. You know, Roberts and Clark are dropping very deep to get on the ball, so they're coming back into their own half to receive the ball. If anything, you know, when they are on top, and you'll see that they're going to have moments in this game, they're going to be getting the ball basically on the point of the each 18 yards in the attacking third. So when they're getting the ball, they can make things happen. I seen him against Sheffield Wednesday away in that 3-0 win, and I thought he was outstanding. He'd done everything bar get an assist or a goal. His distribution was excellent, his movement was excellent, and he was causing all sorts of problems. So I think if you're not scoring goals, you're not creating for others. If you're doing everything else right, yeah, tick in the box.
Well, we said the yellow card was staying in the pocket, not much longer. Dan Neil is the first player to go into Jared Gillett's book for a late challenge on Coburn. I don't think he needed to make, and I'm not sure actually he was intending to. He just kind of went in for a ball that he was just never really going to get to.
It's a silly one from Dan Neil, especially in a game like this. You know, I think totally right. I think he put his foot there to make the challenge, and then he's just kind of left it there lazily. The referee, again, officiating, that he has opportunities to bring the yellow card out already in this game. I think that's just a talking to as well. Coburn's up straight away.
I don't think it's any different to perhaps Crooks' two challenges in terms of...
So you want consistency, don't you, especially in a game this size for both clubs.
Neither side really at their best so far in terms of
in the attacking third. Yeah. I think both teams trying to play out from the back, which we know that's the identity of both managers and their players. You know, I think Middlesbrough are definitely having the better of it. We've not really seen those clear-cut chances off the back of the play though.
Remains 0-0 on Talksport 2. Almost 18 minutes played at the Stadium of Light. First commentary of the day here on Talksport 2, off to Old Trafford from 3 o'clock this afternoon. Throwing on the far side, and you can guess it's gone Sunderland's way, and it was poor control from the visitors, hence the noise coming from the Roker stand away to our right hand side. Now an opportunity maybe here for Trey Hugh. A little bit of space for Roberts on this near side. Immediately though, he's closed down by Engel. Tries to go outside him, and he's just tried to get away, but Engel's done brilliantly defensively. Roberts slams the ground in fury because Middlesbrough have come away with the ball again, courtesy of Greenwood, who's trying to get there again, and Greenwood's done brilliant to hold off the challenge of Bellingham. Then the pass through to Isaiah Jones, had a little too much on it, and it's safely swept up at the back by Dan Ballard.
Well, I thought excellent defending there from Engel. It'll be Patrick Roberts.
Oh, Neil's ball to Clark again. Neil had it just inside the Middlesbrough half. Clark was on the overlap down the left-hand side. Tried to play a ball inside Tommy Smith, but just too much on it, and the direction was wrong.
It's been the same from both sides. You know, you're looking at Hayden Hackney, Greenwood for Middlesbrough. That pass, a little bit too much on it, maybe the wrong direction on occasion, when, you know, just play the easier pass it's on. Dan Neil there as well, with the quality that he's got, his distribution is fantastic. You know, again, just overhits it. Trying, you know, when you've not got a lot of room for error, sometimes it's better just to say, you know what, boom, I'm just going to keep possession of the ball, pass it sideways, get it again, and create a different angle.
They've lost 3 of their last 5 visits here to Sunderland, have Middlesbrough. That's in the league. The only win came back in the Premier League, that was in 2016. So they have lost just 1 of the last 7 since 2008, and that was here earlier on this year in January, a game that I know you were at, Chris, and it was a cracking game as well, when both sides were pushing towards those playoff places, where I think we expect to see them again come April and May time. Who knows, maybe one of them may well be pushing for that automatic promotion. Wide on that left-hand side, here's Huggins for Sunderland, driving forward here towards the edge of the penalty area. Huggins still going, and in the end it took a good foot in from Isaiah Jones. It was his second attempt to make a tackle, and he made a better fist of it second time round. And it's gone as far as Coburn, who just loses possession. It's quite weak really. He's just knocked off the ball by Bellingham. And now a chance for Roberts to run, and he is running towards the edge of the penalty area. Patrick Roberts! Great save by the outstretched left boot of Dieng as Roberts got inside the penalty area, 12 yards out. He was clever. I thought he'd go for the far corner. He didn't. He tried to go for the near corner, and in the end it was a good save by Dieng out for the corner.
It was an excellent save from Dieng there. He tried to give the goalkeeper the eyes there. Roberts made it all himself, driving in 3-4 players. He can just side foot it into the bottom left-hand corner, but he tries to give the goalkeeper the eyes and go to the bottom right-hand corner. Dieng saves with his feet there, but I don't know why try and put anything on it there. He'd done ever so well, and then he's running in 12 yards from goal with no one in front of him.
But is that what we're saying about, or what I've been saying about Roberts? Because he's not scored yet this season, he hasn't scored since April. mentally when you get in that moment? Do you overthink it?
Yeah, well, he's tried the harder one to try and set the goalkeeper the wrong way. You know what, it was fantastic quality from Roberts. You know, it just shows you that, like you say, maybe he's not completely on the boil.
Excellent. So I wasn't taking shots at him.
That wasn't that.
Okay, that's good. Almost 22 minutes played on Talksport 2. It remains 0-0. Chris Wellemer alongside me, Adam Bridge, here at the Stadium of Light. As the pressure's on here, as Middlesbrough try to play it out. Sunderland pressing high and doing well with Bellingham. To the right-hand side he goes. Hume is 25 yards from goal. Right-hand edge of the box. Infield on his right foot. Just slips the ball through towards the penalty spot. But it was between Bellingham and Barr, and in the end is comfortably clear. But only so far as it breaks again to Bellingham at the edge of the Middlesbrough penalty area. He's then fouled by Hackney, 7-on-7, and that's going to be a free kick which Sunderland take very quickly out wide to that left-hand side. Clark picks it up, gives it back to Huggins. Infield it goes once more. Towards the edge of the penalty area where it's gathered up this time by Hume. Hume out to the right hand side. Roberts, chance to cut in on that left foot of his again maybe. He's made the run, waiting for the comeback from Hume, but instead the ball is put into the penalty area and has to be headed clear by a combination of Tommy Smith and Dale Fry. And Clark's going to put it back into the danger zone. It's Fry again at the edge of the 6-yard area that can clear. As far as Huggins, Sunderland keep possession and Isaiah Jones concedes the throw on the far side.
Yeah, I think good period there for Sunderland. Little free kicks, taking it quickly, really putting Middlesbrough on the back foot. I've got to say, I think taking that option of putting the ball in early into the box, I don't think there's bodies in there to kind of cause so much trouble. I would like the fact that Jack Clark get at his man. I've not seen that, taking him on, you know, and what we see time. Here he goes.
He's on the charge now, inside the penalty area. Clark still going, and again it's that man Dale Fry with the outstretched right boot who puts it behind for the corner.
Yeah, but listen to that, you know, Jack Clark getting the ball, Patrick Roberts getting the ball, taking their men on, getting past people. The volume just goes through the roof, doesn't it? So yeah, and the players are feeding off that.
Clark takes it short to the edge of the penalty area, back to Clark. 5 red and white shirts in the box. Clark runs towards the byline, pulls it back across, and it was an outswinger of a delivery. And it was away from Bellingham, and it's just going to be kept in on this near side. It is. He's done brilliantly well. The chase was on there, and that's fantastic from Luke O'Nien, just to keep the ball out, just so Sunderland can keep that pressure on Middlesbrough.
No, that's what a captain does. You know, he is a leader. Came through as a young boy at Watford when I was there. Just a fantastic character, but he's just going to grow into that player as well. And those little things, those little small margins, isn't it? Keeping the ball, keeping possession rather than Middlesbrough getting a breather, coming up and dictating the game again. Because to be fair, Middlesbrough aren't really seeing a lot of the ball. Sunderland are completely controlling it at the minute.
Yeah, O'Nien has played every minute of the Championship so far for Sunderland. There's a few that haven't left the field of play during the Championship game for Tony Mowbray's side. Here they come charging forward, Middlesbrough though, through the centre, down the left-hand side is Greenwood inside the penalty area, gets away from the defender who slipped across the face of goal from Greenwood. Coman can put it in, can he? No, it's just poked wide, right on the post, 2 yards out from goal, inside the 6-yard area. There was a slip inside the box, that time I think from O'Nien, and it allowed Greenwood to play the ball in. And it's desperate defending in the end, and it'll be a corner down this left-hand side.
I think it was Hume that slipped, but O'Nien fantastic around Coburn there, just to make sure, because I've got to say Patterson was on the ground. I think he'd made a contact, made a save. The ball was bouncing freely, a couple of yards from goal, and O'Nien just put the pressure on Coburn just so that he couldn't tap that ball into the empty net. Excellent defending there.
25 minutes played, corner, swung towards that back post, and there was a little flick on that just to get it out the danger zone. I think it'll be another corner for Middlesbrough. Yeah, given as a goal kick. I thought that was a red and white striped head on that.
What's Patterson doing there? Patterson's come out, no man's land. If Middlesbrough are strong, got someone at the back post area, you're heading it into an empty goal. If the goalkeeper comes, he has to make some sort of contact, because I don't know what he was doing there, because it was on to hit, but he's came out, he's not even flapped at it. He's kept his hands by his side.
0-0 here at the Stadium of Light. Reminder, on Monday, Ali McCoist is back for Talksport Breakfast. He's fresh from his charity bike ride. I don't think he'll be fresh. I think he may be saddle sore. That feels very uncomfortable, the old charity bike ride for Ali McCoist. Andy Townsend will be with him as well. And I'm sure his cycling adventures will come into play. And the lads will be talking to Piers Morgan as well, who's interviewed Zlatan Ibrahimovic this week for Talk TV. And obviously they'll be discussing the fallout of Arsenal after the blockbuster clash against Manchester City tomorrow afternoon. Promises to be an absolute belter. That's Talksport Breakfast, back on Monday morning from 6 o'clock with Ali and Andy Townsend. Good interception here from Crooks, who can charge forward. There's 3 forward here for Middlesbrough. The ball from Crooks is into a space that, well, Coburn has not even thought about running into. He should have, but he didn't.
No, well, I think if you're Crooks and you're looking at Coburn, then you know you can't play. He's done well to win the ball back, but you know that's when you just drive into a wide area. You've got Isaiah Jones there shouting at you, and then you give him the ball, get yourself in the box for the delivery.
Good work from Hayden.
Excellent
Hackney.
play.
Now Jones down the right-hand side. Jones towards the edge of the penalty area for Middlesbrough, across towards Coburn, and it's blocked out, and it's great defending from 09 at the edge of his 6-yard area, and Sunderland get it clear. This game's coming to life.
Well, again, Isaiah Jones, I'm looking at him. If I'm Coburn, I'm wanting Isaiah Jones to play that ball a little bit earlier, you know, so that he can, because the longer he takes, Coburn's running into an offside position.
They've still got it here, Middlesbrough.
Touch.
Ball into the box. It is a nice touch, turn and shot inside the penalty area, but it's a shot that ends up going wide and out of play for a corner. Deflected as Greenwood just tried to fire that goalwards. And there's a problem on the far side here, I think, for Sunderland.
Was it Huggins, is it?
I think so. He's gone down at the edge of the penalty area, well, between the penalty area and the touchline on the far side. And we're going to get some action from the physio as well. So it's 0-0 here. A reminder right now over on Talksport, Luton against Spurs, and 27 minutes played there. It remains 0-0. That game is live on Talksport at this moment in time. And then later on, Game Day Live is on the way from 2:30 with Adrian Durham. While we've got Manchester United against Brentford here from the Premier League on Talksport 2. And of course, some midweek football for you. On Tuesday night, we've got the EFL Trophy, Portsmouth against Gillingham. On Thursday, it's Spain against Scotland, with the man alongside me, seeing if Scotland can wrap up that place at Euro 2024. And on Friday night, England against Australia, the international friendly as well. That's live on Talksport as well. Looks like we might have a problem here. He's still down, his Huggins, on that far side. I'm going to guess it's just a muscular injury, because I don't think there was any contact at the time.
Yeah, it's well, the ball came in from Isaiah Jones. I've got to say it was an excellent touch from Sam Greenwood, and I think that's where the likes of Hayden Hackney and Balazar, can they be the one running onto that, you know? So rather than Greenwood turn and spin and get his shot away, he just sets it for one of them. You know that Johnny Howson, I'm talking about his mobility, but he's in those positions. He knows that you're getting your opportunity at goal. It is Huggins, isn't it? You know, I think because there wasn't any challenge on him. I don't know if he's tried to overstretch and get a block on the cross coming in from Isaiah Jones.
Well, it looks like he's going to be walking around the side of the pitch here, and yeah, there is a change that's been made. Jensen Selt has come on to the field of play. Second substitute appearance for the Dutchman. Plus 1.7 million from PSV.
It's not a bad replacement, isn't it? You know, but you look at what you're losing with Niall Huggins as well. That energy, getting up, supporting Jack Clark, getting round the back of him inside, and you know what? It's end product. You know, we've already seen he has started a few attacks. He has got into the right areas, and it's just that delivery that's fallen short this afternoon. Yeah,
Selt's debut was delayed due to an ankle injury, but he made his debut as a sub against Sheffield Wednesday, and he's out there now. Here's the corner, and he's got some defending to do, as it's swung in by Balaz that time, and it's away down that left-hand side. And now an opportunity for Clark to get it clear, which he does first time, and it's taken in its stride, and Barr is forward here. It's 2-on-1. The break down the left-hand side towards the edge of the penalty area, still going, tries to cut the ball back across, but doesn't deliver in the end. Barr was waiting for it, never quite arrived. And unfortunately for Sunderland, the opportunity is gone.
Well, 2-on-1 there, you know, I've got to say Isaiah Jones, excellent defending, just kept backing off, and then as soon as the big touch, he went, he pressed, he made the challenge in the box as well, timed it excellent, and then in that transition as well, just played the easy pass, kept possession of the ball for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, good run by Burston, but not quite able to deliver. That's a lovely switch of play by Hackney out to that right-hand side. Isaiah Jones towards the edge of the penalty. Here's Greenwood onto his right foot, gets the shot away, deflected and behind for a corner.
Well, I don't understand why Greenwood's taken it off Isaiah Jones there. That's one of his strengths. He's running into the right at the point of the 18-yard box. He's up against two. Sam Greenwood's in space, but about 25 yards from goal, so he slows down the full attack. Get Isaiah Jones driving it to the touchline, and then he can cut it back, and then you get an opportunity at goal. As soon as Sam Greenwood took a touch there, he's got 3 Sunderland shots in front of him. And to be fair, the shot's blocked, but he never really connected with it either.
31 minutes played, it remains 0-0 on Talksport 2. Corner for Middlesbrough on that far side. They're just having a good spell of possession and opportunities here towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's a decent header away that time, as it's closed down that time in the edge of the penalty area by Burston once more. And now a break on for Barr. He's got 2 round him, but has Barr got the pace? Has Barr got the pace to get the better of Engel? Goalkeeper's backtracking as well.
It's a free kick.
And the challenge from Isaiah Jones, and it is going to be a yellow card and a free kick 25 yards out from goal.
What I will say, we don't have a monitor, but you look at the body language of Isaiah Jones, so he's saying there is some contact with the ball. So it's one of those, I think it's a big tell when you look at the players. Like Isaiah Jones is basically going crazy to the referee there. He did receive a yellow card. I think another yellow card's come out as well. There for, who's that? Dale Fry, I think it was, Adam.
For the protest.
But again, it just shows you Abdullah Ba, he's alive, he's driving forward. He's got two players up against him, but he's manipulating the ball very, very well. But I'm just looking at it, we don't have the luxury of a screen to see if there was sort of some contact with the ball there, but Isaiah Jones' reaction tells me there was.
Patrick Roberts against his former club, centre of the goal. And the free kick is going to be delivered, and there was no contact on the ball, so I don't know what he's moaning about in that case. Roberts fancies this, about 25 yards out. There's 4 in the wall, and away to our right hand side, Seny Dieng just prowls inside his 6-yard box. Roberts with his left foot takes a deflection. Dieng will gather. Oh no, he doesn't gather. He punches away, and he's touched as part of that process. And of course, they're endangered species, these goalkeepers. It's a free kick.
Yeah, to be fair, I think he's done well. Dieng there, he's made good contact with 2 hands. Now sitting down the way that he is, there was not enough contact to cause any issue here. But it was, I think you have to go and challenge that. Back in the day, if it's in my day, I'm getting dragged if I don't put the keeper and ball into the back of the net. You know, it's one of those things. You take a yellow, and then does the keeper come out for the next one? That's the question.
Throughout the month of October, Together Against Racism campaign is running throughout the EFL. Football is a game for everyone, remember, so if you witness racist or discriminatory abuse, you can report it directly to your club through Kick It Out, the EFL's online reporting form, or of course by alerting a steward if you are attending a game. No contact on the player, actually, was the word that's come from back in the studio, so it shouldn't have been a free kick, is the word of our producer, who does have
I've got an argument then.
You did. Here's Roberts, lays that one back. Neil, right hand side of the penalty area towards that back post towards Barr. Dieng has just got a hand up and palm that away. It's with Clark though, left hand side towards the byline. Clark cuts it back to the edge of the penalty area. Right footed shot, he's just over the top of the crossbar. And it's Dieng watches it over, arms are in the air, but never really thought about making a challenge on that one.
Well, excellent from Sunderland, just keeping the pressure on. Good quality coming in from both sides. Seny Dieng there, if he doesn't touch that, he's opening his account. You know, I think he's in the right place. He's up there. He's ready just to make some sort of contact at the back post area. Great strong hand, right hand from Seny Dieng there. But then Jack Clark, again, he's 20 yards from goal, but with the confidence and the form that he's in, just worked the goalkeeper again. You know, he's just over the bar. It got an ooh from the crowd, but with the quality that he's got, he'll be disappointed that he hasn't worked him.
So they've had a little reshuffle at the back with Huggins going off. Selt is playing at right back now, and Trey Hume has gone over into the left back position for Sunderland. So slight disruption with that injury to Niall Huggins as we enter the final 10 minutes of the first half here on Talksport 2. It remains goalless, but a good game of football, Chris.
Yeah, excellent game of football. You know, I think you're looking at clear-cut chances. I think both goalkeepers are making the right decision, coming out and making the contact. But I still think both sides are guilty of that final pass, that final decision-making, or that bit of movement in the attacking third. That needs to be better on both fronts.
Here's Isaiah Jones cutting in as he always does and doing it incredibly well back towards halfway, where he finds McNair. McNair looks out to his left-hand side where he's got Lucas Engel waiting. First time pass from him finds Greenwood. Challenge straight in from Ballard. No messing on this near side, and Middlesbrough are forced back inside their own half under the watchful eye of Michael Carrick in the sweater down beneath us. Tony Mowbray prowling his technical area as well. Not the biggest technical areas in the world here at the Stadium of Light, that's for sure. Well, Bellingham's done brilliantly there. Takes it off the toes of Barlaza, and now down that far side, Clark is there. Tried to be grappled to the ground, but Clark still got away towards the byline. Clark pulls that ball back, and in the end it's cleared by Barlaza, and now down that right-hand side, Crooks will try and play it forward towards Coburn, but that's going to be well read by O'Nien. And here they come again, down that left-hand side once more. Here's Burster. Infield he goes. Centre circle, Ballard. Out down this right-hand side to the substitute, Jensen Self. Back towards halfway. And once more, Sunderland will just happily keep possession. Roberts on this near touchline, coming more and more into this game as we head towards half-time. 0-0 on Talksport 2. And it's back with Patterson. And it's a patient build-up from Tony Mowbray's side. As I mentioned earlier, Middlesbrough captain at the age of 22, and here he is managing against his former club, and he's only lost 2 of the 10 when he's been a manager against Middlesbrough throughout his distinguished career. 59 years of age now, of course. But here comes his Sunderland side again with Clark. Always that outlet down that left-hand side. Well, Crooks has taken him down. Now, surely on the totting up process, Crooks must be walking a thin line to a yellow card, but no, Jarrod Gillett keeps it in his pocket, and it'll be a free kick on the far side.
Well, I'm surprised Jarrod Gillett hasn't given Tommy Smith a yellow card for pulling back on Jack Clark. Earlier, I know Jack Clark, he got away in the end, but it was a clear free kick in there. Matt Crooks now, how many times? That's 3-4 opportunities the referee could probably have booked him for all 3 or 4.
I think that's the point that Jack Clark's just made to Jarrod Gillett for the challenge on Tommy Smith. Well, from Smith to say, hang on, I stayed on my feet, but that's cynical. He's tried to rugby tackle me.
Well, what sort of other option then, that Jack Clark stops the attack, falls to the ground when he doesn't have to? The referee should punish the player accordingly, no matter if the player goes to the ground or not. We talk about players staying on their feet in the box, but why? Because you've got to give the referee a decision to make.
Here's the delivery from the far side, swung in by Roberts towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Breaks towards Clark. Clark again pushing out wide to that far side. Back with Clark, 25 yards out from goal. On his right foot, swings it in towards Ballard, but Dieng's done well at the edge of his 6-yard box, and he gathers for Middlesbrough and will have a chance to clear as we enter the last 7 minutes of the half.
Well, you're looking at Jensen Silt found himself right in there, Ballard as well. And you're thinking it's an excellent ball in, but Seny Dieng comes out again, and I think right decision, keeps it, good hands as well. You know, I think on his front foot, anticipating the ball coming in, but once you make that decision, you have to make some sort of contact.
One of those rare moments when prepping for today's game where you see that Dieng has kept 2 clean sheets and scored a goal against Sunderland, which is always a rarity when the goalkeeper's scored a goal. That was back in August 2022 when he was down at Queen's Park Rangers. It finished 2-2 that game. Dieng on target in that one for Queen's Park Rangers against Sunderland. Well, Roberts has let that run under his feet after a lovely ball through from Bellingham, but he's managed to keep possession by the corner flag. He's under pressure, and is he going to lose out in the end against Engel? Engel in the quadrant, and it's out of play for a throw right by the corner flag, which Roberts is taking quickly. In towards Bellingham, it bounces. The shout of man on from the Roker end away to our right-hand side, and Bellingham gets a shove in the back, and it will be a free kick.
Intelligent player, you know, he knows exactly who's around him, what's around him. Felt that little bit of contact, goes to the ground a little bit easy in my opinion, but it is a free kick. I've got to say it's an excellent battle, Roberts and Engel there. That just good quality in that corner flag area there, just keeping possession of the ball, both of them with their body weight there. But like you say, I think Joe Bellingham's just another one that's just got so much potential.
It remains 0-0 over on Talksport on game day exclusive between Luton and Tottenham, now heading towards half-time as well. We've got 4.5, maybe 5 minutes to go here, plus added time as right-footed that ball is swung towards the back post, and arriving to try and win the header that time was Selt, but couldn't quite get there. They'll keep possession though on that far side. Will Sunderland, right-footed ball swung in again. Dieng's going to gather that under his post, and he's clattered into the goal by Ballard that time. And Jarrod Gillett immediately gives the free kick.
I don't have anything against that challenge from Ballard there. I think Dieng, again, good hands, just knocked it away from Ballard, knew the challenge was coming. But you got to give he's not even received a yellow card, which is fair enough from Ballard. It was a genuine attempt to go and win the ball, but like you say, good strong hands from Dieng. And so does he come for the next one? That's the big question, isn't it?
And isn't that all part of it? As a striker or a forward, when you're in those moments, you are trying to put that doubt in the goalkeeper's mind every time he comes for a ball that you're going to be there, and he may well get clattered.
I wasn't joking when I said I got dragged when I played for St Mirren, and I said, well, with 25 minutes into the game, he says, you should have put the goalkeeper in ball. Jimmy Bowen, the manager, he says, you never done it, you let him off. Took me off.
I like the way you dipped into a slightly more Scottish accent then. That was quite good.
It's one of them, it just comes out every now and again, doesn't it?
Down this left-hand side, that's a terrible ball, and you can tell by the cheers it's been played by Paddy McNair, and the Sunderland fans giving him plenty as he puts that straight into touch on this near side. I mean, it must have been tricky for you when you were travelling around, because when you go back to a former club, you had so many, you probably got plenty, didn't you? Paddy McNair's getting it today, that's for sure.
Well, that's the thing, with Paddy McNair, I think across the back, Middlesbrough have been good today, but those little passes, I think because they're not really seen a lot of it, now they're trying to force the ball into attacking areas, but I think that's when you've got the option of Matt Crooks. It's got to be with quality to the big man, and he'll make it stick, he'll bring other players in, but that was a terrible ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, last 3 minutes of the first half. The former Stoke striker, of course, Christo Animo alongside me, Scotland striker as well, so you'll be hearing from him during the international break on a couple of occasions, as Scotland have a couple of huge games against Spain and France, couple of belters. I bet you're looking forward to that.
No, amazing. I think only 2 points needed to secure a place in the European Championships. Obviously that friendly against France, I think that's what Steve Clarke's always wanted, just to test the team against quality, albeit England absolutely battered us 3-1 and were comfortable victors.
You'll be preparing your wash bag for Germany if they get through there, I suspect.
Hopefully so.
Long one punted forward, the chase is on there for Mason Burstow to try and get onto. It's just sniffed away by Paddy McNair, who defensively has been very good. It's just his distribution that's been a little bit awry at times in this first half, as Dieng gets it forward towards Josh Coburn. Look, I'm not going to be harsh, but Josh Coburn is not offering much up top for Middlesbrough, is he? He's physically there, but he's not winning many balls.
Yeah, but it takes the service. Our striker it's all down to the service he's getting. In Middlesbrough, as patient as they are in that defence and the holding midfield position, the ball can come up to him a lot quicker. So for a lot of the games, you just have to kind of make sure that you're switched on and you're not kind of expending your energy. But when it comes alive, like moments of this, you make the right run and get the right ball.
Let's see if he does this time. Balaza gets it out to Greenwood. Greenwood edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. He's just pushed out a little bit further. That's a good challenge in the end from the substitute Jensen Silt, and it's going to be a goal kick, and the applause is for some decent defending from the Dutchman.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think Coburn made an excellent run there just off the back of the 9, and it's Balaza. He's just got to play the ball through. There's a lot of room for error, and Coburn, if he takes a good touch, he's running straight in Patterson's goal there. So it does go to Sam Greenwood, who slows it down, turns his back on the player. No, it was when there's 3 against 3, it has to be quick, fluent passes to create the opportunity.
But the best moments in this game have come from the really direct
spot
play,
on.
isn't it? Yeah. Here comes Sunderland again down this right-hand side. And it's the substitute on for Huggins. Who gets it across field to Bellingham. He's had a quieter game than we often see here at the Stadium of Light for Sunderland. Clarke on that far side, in towards the edge of the penalty area, but he couldn't find the advancing Hume, and Isaiah Jones is trying to rampage down that far side, but just runs it out of play, and it will be a throw-in on that far side for Sunderland. And we're into the dying moments of this first half. We're about to find out what additional minutage we'll have at the end of the opening 45, and it's 3 minutes, the only real delay being that for the injury and eventual substitution of Niall Huggins. There's been a few niggly free kicks, and there's another one. Burstow coming very deep to get on the ball for Sunderland time and time again.
Yeah.
It's very rare he's the furthest player forward.
But that's what, you know, when you're not seeing a lot of the ball, good players want to
Here's
come and get involved.
Clark's dancing through them all here. Well, I'd say he's dancing through them. He didn't need to. No one made a challenge.
Yeah,
he just waltzed his way through as that's put back into the penalty area again on that far side by Hume. Hume once more. Goes back to Neil. Neil is 10 yards inside the Middlesbrough half. 09 finds Ballard. Everyone inside Borough territory. Roberts. Back to halfway. Silt's there once more. And this time they are forced a little further back into their own half, Sunderland. Isaiah Jones comes to make the challenge, but then Barr just helps it out wide to the far side where Hume is there waiting. Driving forward down that left-hand side once more. It's good play by 09, and he wins his side the free kick. And well, there's the centre half just doing his stuff on the far side of the field and then bigging the crowd up. Yeah,
I think he can play in about 6 different positions. Luke O'Nien holding midfielder when he came through at Watford. He has played a few games right across the back, full back, centre back. So yeah, he's a very, very good technical player as well. But again, the referee allows Tommy Smith off with a challenge again. I think a yellow card can come out there. He'll be a lucky boy.
Here's the free kick. It is, I would say, almost exactly midway inside the Middlesbrough half. Far touchline, about a yard in, right-footed. Lifted towards the back post where Ballard was going to try and collect it, but it was right on the edge of the penalty area, so a fair distance out. And there'll be a throw-in down this near side for Sunderland again. Probably about level with where that free kick was taken from, but this time on this right-hand touchline. Roberts is there. I think it'll be Selt that wanted to take it, but in the end, Roberts has given it quickly to Bellingham. And now it's all the way back away to our left-hand side at the feet of Patterson.
Really, really impressed with Lucas Engel. I think going forward, he's always an option. You know, I think defensively, even there, that defensive header just up against 2 at the back post area as well. Just make sure that he makes the contact and then he gets on the end of the rebound of it as well.
Crooks, Coburn is trying to work his way through, and it's a really good challenge in the end from Trey Hume again, who's been excellent in this opening 47-48 minutes. And there's a yellow card. Oh, it's a red. It's a red card. A second yellow in this game has been shown, I think, to Dan Neil, and it may be to do with protesting to the referee, because he instantly got a second yellow. There's no challenge involved.
But what's he got to protest about? It's a goal kick. Trey Hume got the challenge in. The referee's not. I don't understand why he's given. What? You just think that, you know, you, if you're in the referee ears all the time, is he retracting it? He's having a chat with someone else here. No, he's walking.
Wow. Well, I'm stunned, because I'm not sure exactly what he said. I mean, there's absolute disbelief. Dan Neil makes his way off on this near side, and he's sticking his arms out saying, I do not understand, to Roberts and Tony Mowbray as well, as he makes his way down the tunnel towards the 4th official. He wants an explanation as to exactly what's gone on there. Well, we thought he was a bit harsh to get the yellow card for the first challenge.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm trying to think, what can he protest about? You know, Trey Hume put in a great challenge on Crooks. The ball goes out for a goal kick. The referee's given the goal kick. So, and then all of a sudden he brings out a card. Is it a second yellow or was it a straight red?
Second yellow.
Second yellow. To I don't understand why he even say anything to the ref, if anything.
Well, there is the half-time whistle for Jared Gillett, and the atmosphere here.
Oh, here we go.
Gone toxic immediately, and now there's a little dust up down below in front of the dugouts. Coburn involved.
And
I think Ballard as well with the first 2. And Michael Carrick's on the field just trying to get Coburn away. And Jared Gillett's got more issues to deal with here. He's talking to his assistants and the 4th official as well. And I wonder what action he's about to take potentially. Well, this game has just exploded into life at the end of the half with the 2 yellow cards for Dan Neil. And Jared Gillett now will call over Coburn, and he's calling over Ballard as well. And he's sending away Jack Clark, and both of them will receive a yellow card at the end of this first half. Well, there's been a lack of goalmouth action of any quality. The action's all taken place with the referee. Jared Gillett booed as he heads down the tunnel here at the Stadium of Light. The Sunderland coaching staff want an explanation as to why Dan Neil got that second yellow card. I think we'd quite like one too, because it makes no sense whatsoever. Half time here, Faye. It's Sunderland who are now down to 10 men 0, Middlesbrough 0.
Wow, what a weird 45 minutes of football. And then to culminate in that, I still don't quite understand. I'm just watching it all kick off on the screens at the moment. But I want to go back to the Dan Neil incident because I don't think any of us really knew exactly what was going on there. What did you make of it, Chris?
Well, I never thought, if he said something to the referee, there's no reason for him to. The only reason I'm thinking now Ballard's had a go at Coburn is because I think there might have been a little bit between Coburn and Dan Neil, and the referee's probably caught the latter part of that, showed a yellow card. That's what off the top of my head, we don't have any screens here, Faye, so we haven't seen that one back, but I just don't understand why Dan Neil would have anything to say to receive a second yellow card. But the reaction of Ballard to Coburn, they're getting in each other's faces, suggests to me that maybe Coburn's instigated it or something's happened between Dan Neil and Coburn.
Well, replays, according to some news agencies, replays are suggesting he said something to Jared Gillett, but nobody can be sure.
No, I'm waiting to watch another replay of it. As you say, there was no reason for him to be back chatting in that circumstance anyway. Perhaps harsh, as you mentioned, to get the first yellow card in the first place, but when you're on a yellow card, just be quiet.
Exactly.
I would say.
Exactly.
Be professional. But then this goes back to what we were saying in terms of the youth of these players. They've got a lot to learn in terms of discipline at times. And actually, the final third, you mentioned it in commentary there, Chris, they're going to have to be even better in the second half now that they're down to 10 men, because the final third's been a problem for both of them. What do you think both managers are going to be? I mean, first of all, they're going to calm down the changing room before they even talk about what's going to happen in the second half. But what do they need to be saying?
Well, I think Tony Mowbray would have been the happier of both managers. I think his Sunderland side have dominated the game, not really had that cutting edge in the attacking third. I mean, creating chances, seen a lot of the ball in wide areas, good quality coming into the box, but just that final contact, that final positioning just hasn't really been with it. Now the game plan changes, but Sunderland have been here and done that with 10 men before. Very much they play with the same that intensity. They're a little bit more compact, a little bit more disciplined, but when they're in possession, they're expansive, and you're going to see the same Sunderland. Michael Carrick, I think now will say, it's the pressure's on you to go out and play the way that I want you to play. I think Middlesbrough have played well. I mean, defensively with the ball coming out into the middle third, and then that wrong pass, the way to pass, the decision to pass has been poor in the attacking third. But they're gonna have a lot more of the ball this second half, so it's going to be a difficult second half for Sunderland, but one that I can still see them coming away the victors if they have that quality. And saying that, I've said 3-2 Sunderland. Wow, what's going on for you? I'm surprised you never brought it up.
Well, that was one of my first things, had that red card not happened, and then they all started throwing insults at each other on the pitch. I mean, for goodness sake, grow up a little bit. You mentioned it, so I'll pile in on you now instead.
Go for it.
Unbelievable prediction.
Yeah, it's just one of them. I think two teams on form, scoring a lot of goals, not conceding. I've got to say both teams, but with the players that they've got, we've not really seen clear-cut chances. A lot of fantastic play, little variations, playing through the middle third, and even I think Middlesbrough have had two opportunities where it's been 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and they've not really capitalised, and that's what you want. And Sunderland have had even better than that, 2 against 1, and just that decision to pass, that wrong bit of play or movement is not, they've not capitalised, and I guess it's been disappointing on that front.
I think Sunderland have had the better of the opportunities, but Senny Dieng has been brilliant in the Borough goal. Yeah,
he has. I think he's come out, he makes his decisions early. It always kind of breeds confidence into that kind of defensive unit when your goalkeeper is commanding. The Patrick Roberts, the save from that. I don't know why Patrick Roberts tries to give the goalkeeper the eyes anyway and go to the near post. He can just slot it into the back post area, but Dieng was up to the challenge and saved that one with his foot. But there's been a few great balls come in from wide areas, and Senny Dieng has came up and he's just got that contact or good hands, and he's been brave, and I think that kind of instills that confidence into that defence in front of him. But they have to be better than that. I think because they were so frustrated in that first half, they started going with the long ball. But you've got Matt Crooks, so if you're going to go with the long ball with quality into chest, into feet, and then you get up the pitch and support then. But I think the passes were going all over the place.
Yeah, certainly were. Right, over on Talksport, Luton 0, Tottenham 0. But weirdly, at an identical time, Spurs midfielder Yves Bissouma was sent off for a second yellow card for diving. So Ange Postecoglou's side down to 10 for the second half. Exactly the same as Sunderland at the Stadium of Light against Middlesbrough. Exclusive commentary on our sister station, by the way. More live and exclusive Premier League commentary here on Talksport 2 from 3 o'clock. We're going to be heading to Old Trafford for Manchester United against Brentford, Premier League's game day exclusive. In this 12:30 EFL Championship kickoff, though, it's Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0, but Sunderland down to 10 men. Second half action from the Stadium of Light coming up next.
It's the totally immersive football experience.
Tucked into the near post.
EFL Game Day Live
On Talksport 2.
I just sold my car.
Weren't you going to part exchange?
I was, but who knew you could get a bigger discount on your next car if you sell to We Buy Any Car? Just sold my car to We Buy Any Car.
Just sold my car to We Buy Any Car. Just sold my car to We Buy Any Car.
To find out how much your car's worth in 30 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. Admin fee may apply. For more information, visit WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Hi, I'm Danny Dyer, and welcome to What's That Smell? Ugh, smoky with a hint of burgers. It's my barbecue apron. Luckily, I can make this smell like freshly picked lilies. Just pop it in the washing machine, add some Surf Tropical Lily laundry detergent, and... oh, my fave. It smells like my dream holiday. Get long-lasting fragrance with natural essential oils with Surf laundry detergent. You can make anything perf with Surf.
Whoa, Dave, you still driving around in that old thing?
Tell me about it.
You want to get yourself down to Howden's, mate. They're giving us another chance to win a van from now until the 28th of October.
No way. Really?
Yeah, a brand new Ford Transit. Just spend 300 quid in one order, including a Lamona appliance, to be in with a chance of winning.
That's brilliant. I need a Howden's kitchen for my next job.
And a new van. Visit your local Howden's depot now. Excludes VAT at 20%. T's and C's apply.
Hi, just a reminder, it's the bake sale next week, and I thought we could have a little run through about all of the things we need to tick off. Obviously no nuts, no dairy, no chocolate, no colouring, no sparkles. Oh, almost forgot, no eggs. No flour, no water, no contact with air. Yeah, definitely no oxygen.
That's better. That's Tetley.
30 million people around the world are just like me.
I value being able to
easily build an investment portfolio.
I value knowing my investment firm
has been recommended by Which for investment platforms 5 years in a row.
And I value knowing I'm with a company that's put clients first for over 45 years.
Join the 30 million investors around the world who value getting Vanguard value.
Hey, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Vanguard. Value to investors. When investing, your capital is at risk.
If you leave your customers happier than Larry. If you always take your boots off at the door. If you tend to get given the good biscuits, you might have what it takes to join the Trust-A-Trader professionals. Millions of people use trustatrader.com to find reputable, recommended tradespeople like you. So if you're looking for more business and even more good biscuits, apply to join us at
Trustatrader.com.
NFL Live tomorrow afternoon from 2 on Talksport 2.
It is good!
Talksport 2 brings you gridiron grinding, touchdown tackling, full live commentary of the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills.
Slings one down the right sideline, inside the 5 and inside the pylon. Touchdown.
NFL Live tomorrow afternoon from 2 on Talksport 2.
Game Day. The best spine-tingling commentary.
EFL Game Day Live
on Talksport 2.
The full-time whistle goes and the boos of those around Old Trafford.
The final whistle has gone. You can hear the boos and the jeers. It is going completely wrong.
They are poor from the dugout to the pitch.
But football is always about result. If the execution is not right, if the process is not right, you don't go to win.
It's like a broken record now. Support, the players have got more support, the players this. Sort these players out because they're not playing well enough.
Bruno Fernandes, short run up and scores!
In togetherness, we will come out.
Whistle far post, might still drop for him! He's
We need to continue, keep doing what we want to do.
Hippo's taken it to the far corner instead, and Brentford are in front.
Playing against Man United at Old Trafford, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And on the flip side, okay, we go there, we know whether we are part of this Premier League and we belong.
Massive match up at Old Trafford, kicking off live and exclusively on Talksport 2 at 3 p.m. here on Game Day Live. I'm Faye Carruthers and we'll be with you for the build-up from 2:30 alongside your Saturday afternoon dream team of Ian Danter and former Arsenal winger Perry Groves. Hello, you two.
Hello. Good afternoon, Faye.
Missing you
on that was a nightmare rather than a dream.
missing you on the gantry this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to this game. I mean, both teams desperately need 3 points for quite different reasons.
Well, yeah, of course. I've been here and I've seen a Manchester United win and a Manchester United defeat so far. And Perry was here with me when Brighton came here and put in. I don't know what Perry thinks. That's probably one of the best away performances I've seen from any Premier League side. They'd have given anybody a hard time that afternoon. Not just a Manchester United side that was feeling a little bit listless at the moment, but. Certainly, there's a lot of noises around this stadium at the moment, Faye, and they're not noises that Erik ten Hag wants to hear or needs to be dealing with right now.
Perry, what have you been eating? Unbelievable. Sorry. I don't know why I took myself down that level. I would never normally do that.
Because you're working with us.
I know, that's what it is.
In your honour, I've got a spare pack of jelly babies just sat here.
Oh, don't tell me that. I should have brought them with me into the studio. What is Erik ten Hag going to do with this side? What does he need to do? What performance do they need to show the Old Trafford faithful to get them back on side?
Well, Dance mentioned about the Brighton game. I think the second half Brighton probably was the best away performance I've seen. But Manchester United in that game, Faye, they were the better side for the first 20 minutes, didn't they?
Yes, that's fair.
Regularly down the left-hand side and Marcus Rashford. And he says in his programme, I like reading the manager's programme notes, and you know that these have actually been written by him, but he says the only way out of this situation is to work hard together and to win every battle on the pitch. That's not what they've been doing, because you can tell that the work ethic isn't good enough for this Manchester United side. Against Crystal Palace in the EFL Cup, he played Palestri, Garnacho and Hannibal, and they won that game 3-0. I know Palace made a load of changes, but they had energy, they had desire, they had a work ethic. The next game against Crystal Palace, he only left Palestri and he left Garnacho and Hannibal out, and the levels dropped, the actual energy levels dropped. So if I was him, I think he's got to be brave. I think he's got to go with the younger players, because this Old Trafford crowd needs lifting, because they've lost the last two here. Against Galatasaray, they went in front twice and then they conceded within 5 minutes. And look at that side as well, Faye. In that team, Onana, he's supposed to be a leader, isn't he? Like a massive character. Varane, who's won a World Cup. Casemiro's won 5 Champions League titles. Amrabat had a brilliant World Cup. You've got Fernandes, who's the captain. Mount and Rashford. So they've got senior players in that side, but soon as they concede, they go softer than like a melted marshmallow. And there's no characters around there that can drag this team up. So if I was him, I would go with Palestri, Garnacho and Hannibal. And there's rumours in the camp, we've got a little mole, that Marcus Rashford might be left out. Now that would be a massive statement, because just lately he's been playing like he's been carrying a fridge. His body language is awful. You know, especially out of possession. That's where Manchester United are really poor, Dance, aren't they? Out of possession. They don't work hard enough individually and as a unit to win the ball back.
The press isn't there either individually or collectively, Faye.
Yeah, really difficult, isn't it? Right, we're going to head back to the Stadium of Light, but we will be at Old Trafford from 2:30 for build-up. Of course, you can hear over on Talksport the team news when it comes out at 2 p.m. on Game Day Live with Adrian Durham. Ian Danter will bring you that, and we'll join Ian and Perry again very, very shortly. Back to the Stadium of Light, though. Middlesbrough are out ready. Michael Carrick's side know that Sunderland are here for the taking. They're down to 10 after that late sending off at the end of the first half by Dan Neil. What can they do? First half at the Stadium of Light, end to end, but no goals, despite that goal fest that Chris Wellamo predicted. Will we get them in the next 45 minutes? Chris is alongside your match commentator, Adam Bridge.
Yeah, thank you, Faye. The Sunderland players yet to arrive, probably put off by the smell of Chris's chicken skewers that he's indulging in at half. Do you know, just the pure smell has put me off, to be fair. And I've got a cold and I can still smell them. Quite remarkable. Good luck to your missus later, that's all I'll say. Here they have Sunderland, you can tell by the roar. We've had the boos for the Middlesbrough players arriving. Here comes Sunderland. We'll keep an eye out to see what change is going to be made, and we're going to see one change, I think, and it's going to be Adil Oichi is coming on. And Cheech is the player that will enter the fray, and he's coming on to replace Mason Burstow. So there's going to be a slight shuffle round here for Sunderland following the second career red for Dan Neil at the end of that first half. And I'm just trying to, well, there is a moment where Dan Neil is shouting at Jared Gillett. I have got a replay in front of me now, and it's after the goal kick has been given. He does start shouting and pointing further up the field, and it's a challenge, I think, from Tommy Smith in the early build-up play to that incident, which is what Dan Neil was furious about, and one can only assume he's used some words that you can't use towards Jared Gillett, and that has warranted that second yellow card, because he's not exactly been card happy in that first half, I think it's fair to say. So it all come as a little bit of a shock before half-time, but they are down to 10 men, and Middlesbrough will try and take advantage in the second half. We'll run you through the lineups in a moment or two, but Middlesbrough have possession down this right-hand side. They are a very good side in possession, as we said. The quality in the final third was lacking in that first period. If they can get that right with the extra man, this could be a long 45 minutes for Tony Mowbray's side, but they're trying to work their way out of defence. Looks like Barr's going to be the furthest player forward in this second half for Sunderland. Wide on the left-hand side, ball floated to the right. Nice clip ball to Crooks, who's charging down the right-hand side. Here's Jones into the penalty area. Crooks towards the byline, overhit the pass, and it'll be a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
So this is where you look at Middlesbrough. They're going to see a lot more of the ball. They've got to kind of really punish Sunderland. Sunderland looked to me like they've went to a 5-3, and Abdullah Ba just up top on his own. I think that 5, I think when in good possession, it's down to the likes of Clark and Roberts on the right-hand side to go and get up and support as often as they can, but without the ball, their responsibility is to drop in. And I think it's one of them. It's to try and see out the game, get corners, free kicks, and capitalise on that. They're right up there from goals from corners as well, Sunderland. So again, it's kind of spoiled the game a little bit, but it's the game plan Tony Mowbray has to try and kind of adhere to and change up his game plan.
90 seconds gone in this second half. It remains 0-0. The 10 men of Sunderland just trying to gather possession, which they do. Roberts does well. It's a nice little touch off to Joe Bellingham. Then down the right-hand side, it's Hume, who's gone back to that right side just to try and touch that ball forward in towards the edge of the penalty area. Chase on here for Barr, who's going to put the pressure on Dieng, who lets it run across him in his 6-yard area. Almost got caught in the end, but then gets it away to Coburn, who's on halfway. He's had a yellow card, of course, now. And there's a clash there between O'Nien and Coburn, and both of them are down as that comes across the face of goal. And Crooks was about to chase in on the end of it. And it's good defensive work in the 6-yard area. And it's gone behind for what will be a corner.
Well, it's an excellent ball in from Isaiah Jones. Matt Crooks is on the back post, and he actually gets there first. Hits it steelwards. What a save. What a save from Anthony Patterson there. Never knew a lot about it. Probably a yard and a half from the ball. Good hands to knock it wide for the corner. Great ball from Isaiah Jones and Matt Crooks. Excellent run. Got there first. All you can ask from Anthony Patterson is to be strong.
And Patterson does the job nicely. Corner taken short on that far side for Middlesbrough. Chance to be swung in on the right-hand side. And it's towards the back of the 6-yard box, and it's just headed over and behind. What an opportunity. About 3 or 4 yards out for Paddy McNair, and could have got Middlesbrough in front.
Well, that's the opportunity, isn't it? I think great ball in, he attacks it well, but you just want to kind of make sure that you get that connection, and just ask the question of Patterson. He's already shown he's up for the challenge, but you're not too far from goal there. Just make sure you steer it goalwards. All the pace is on the ball itself.
Patterson away to our right hand side. He's going to have a busy second half here with the 10 men of Sunderland. Long ball forward towards halfway, picked up by Bellingham. Out wide to that right hand side, and there's a free kick for a foul again. And as you can imagine, every time there is a stoppage in play for an injury, fairly hefty cheers and loud calls from the faithful as they look to try and even this game up in terms of total numbers here. And it will be on that far side of free kick. And we'll run you through the Sunderland team then. So Patterson in goal, as we say. It looks like we've gone to 3 at the back with Silt, O'Nien and Ballard, the 3 centre halves. Clark playing the left wing back, Hume playing as the right wing back. Then we've got Roberts and Bellingham in midfield with the substitute, the addition of Uich, and Barr will be the player up front. So it does very much look like a 5-3-1 to try and combat Middlesbrough in this second half, who have that man advantage, of course.
But I think you're spot on, Adam. I think every challenge that goes in, every time a Sunderland player goes down, this place is going to put as much pressure on the referee to try and even up the score. So he's got to be big enough for that as well. But again, it's very, very hard. You're looking at it, the game goes so quickly, and then you've got to make those decisions. And if players are looking for those little challenges, it's always going to be a hard one. But like you say, he's been a little bit inconsistent so far.
Down that left-hand side, forward comes McNair, ball into the penalty, lovely turn by Greenwood, chance to stab home in the 6-yard box, but that's a brilliant challenge, diving in from Ballard, had to be well timed, and it was. And now Barr on that far side, the only outlet for Sunderland, and that's going to be the problem time and time again. Isolated, surrounded by blue shirts, and Middlesbrough gather possession once more.
Well, I've got to say, I think from just that bit of quality there from Middlesbrough, Greenwood, excellent turn, right at the point of the 6-yard box, he tried to stab at it as well, but Patterson was up to the challenge, came out off the goal line very, very quickly, but Middlesbrough are completely in control at the minute, and it's just basically attack v defence.
Ballard's done brilliantly there to hold off Greenwood, who was inside the penalty area. The Middlesbrough side, as it was really, Yanked in goal. It's Smith, Fry, McNair and Engel, Balazar and Hackney, with Jones, Crooks and Greenwood providing the support to Coburn. Jones and Coburn both on yellow cards in this game in that opening 45 minutes. And they will just look to keep the ball as much as they can.
No, they will. And the thing is, the longer the game goes at this scoreline as well, I think Middlesbrough will take more risks to try and go and get the 3 points, and I think that's when Sunderland, with the pace that they've got in their side, wing backs, they can get it forward, they can drive, and it's just about that pass, that final bit of quality in the attacking third. But they're not really they're not seeing too much of the ball in that attacking third at the minute. But there will be moments in this half.
Just in the replay of Patterson's save, it looks even better in slow motion, to be fair. Barr again trying to keep it in down this near side. It's out of play though, and it'll be a Middlesbrough throw midway inside their own half. Going to be a real challenge here for this Sunderland side to keep up this good form. The home form's been pretty decent as well so far. 3 wins in their last 4 here. They've lost 2 of 10 at the Stadium of Light. And only once in the last 19 have they failed to score. So what can the 10 men muster? At this moment in time, it's very much a rearguard action. It remains 0-0 on Talksport 2, 7 minutes into the second half. But it's Middlesbrough who have the ball, midway inside Sunderland territory. Balazar just slips that one through. Coburn inside the penalty area, good first touch. Even better challenge that time from Ballard, who has come out in this second half like an absolute man possessed, because he's won his team a goal kick.
Yeah, I think I think when you've had a man sent off just right before half time, I think his centre backs Ballard and O'Nien, you have to come together. You have to make sure that you're going to be communicating. You're going to have to make sure that you're talking and controlling the players in front of you as well, and dragging them here, dragging them there, to make sure that you've got as much protection as possible, but then be switched on as well, because Ballard has been defending in this second half outstanding.
Lovely flick on here. Roberts inside the penalty area, trying to come forward towards the edge of the hole. He's going to be penalised for the foul. It was a really good flick down the right hand side by Trey Hugh into Roberts inside the penalty area. He worked his way out of the corner of it, and in the end I think the defending was so good from Paddy McNair, he got a little frustrated.
Yeah, but I don't think there was a foul. I think Paddy McNair was waiting for the challenge to come. Roberts faked one way and then went round the other side. Paddy McNair went to floor, and Roberts has got all ball when he made the challenge. So again, I think it's a very soft one that was given by the linesman there, and that's why I think Roberts has that reaction to the linesman. But it just shows you, with a little bit of quality, that ball, Roberts is running into the 18-yard box, 1 against 2. But again, he doesn't mind those odds.
Over halfway down this right-hand side, it's Crooks who's coming a little deeper to gather possession for Middlesbrough as they try to make that man advantage tell. Back into Crooks inside the penalty area, worked it onto his left foot, but again it's a brilliant challenge. O'Nien this time standing up as captain and clearing away for Sunderland from inside the penalty area. We are just hearing, by the way, that at lunchtime, Jared Gillett said he would referee the game empathetically, with it being a local derby and plenty on the line. However, it's believed he used an expletive in the referee's direction when the foul wasn't given for Sunderland, and he was shown a second yellow as a result. If that is true, and he did use an expletive towards the referee fairly directly when he's already on a yellow card, I know we're a little stunned by it and think maybe that's a bit harsh from Gillett. But isn't that a bit of stupidity from Dan Neil when he's already been booked?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've already spoken about how young this Sunderland side is, and I think that's where experience has to come in. You have to then say, you know what, pass that responsibility on to someone else. You know what, I'm hamming the ref here. I'm on a yellow card, you've got to take that now, keep putting them under the pressure. And because, like you say, when you're talking to the referee, it just swings little things in your favour as well.
Isaiah Jones down the right hand side for Middlesbrough, tries to skip around and beyond 09, who's done brilliantly to get him into the corner. And I think Isaiah Jones is feeling he may have been pushed there, but the assistant is right on hand and decides not, and Sunderland win the ball back. And it's hard work down this left hand side as they regather possession. But now Middlesbrough once more smuggle the ball away back inside their own half, and listen to the roar from the home support. The effort is insane defensively right now from Sunderland, and it's appreciated by the majority of this 47,000 inside the Stadium of Light.
Oh!
That's a lovely flick to Greenwood, who goes down inside the penalty area.
That's a penalty kick, Adam.
It was a flick from Crooks. Greenwood was running onto it, and he looks like he was brought down. There's not too much protesting going on.
Well, he's got up. Was it Greenwood, wasn't it? He's got in behind. He's actually got around his man, and the man's he's had no regard for the ball whatsoever. I think it was an iron as well. And we don't have the monitor, so hopefully we can get it back from the studio, a little bit of feedback. But it looked like O'Nien got his hand across Greenwood and he went to floor. There was no genuine attempt for the ball there. You can't do that. You cannot do it.
Well, Michael Carrick seemed unmoved by it. It would have been a softer one, wouldn't it? I mean, it would have been soft.
Well, it's a free kick on Isaiah Jones when O'Nien comes through the back of him there as well, but that's not given.
I did think that was, to be fair. Well, we'll see a replay hopefully shortly, as Middlesbrough have possession again. Right hand side, here comes Smith coming down this right hand side. Isaiah Jones on the charge towards the corner flag. Jones between two, Jones to the byline, and then he tries to lift the ball across the 6-yard box, and 09 with a challenge again, and it goes behind for a corner. And what a good challenge it was too from Luke O'Nien, but good skill from Isaiah Jones.
Quality from Isaiah Jones there again. He takes it through the two, little tic-tac, and then he takes it to the line. It's just the wrong decision, isn't it? Just the wrong decision.
I've just seen a replay of that potential penalty. Sometimes you need to take your striker's glasses off, my friends. Not in my book. Too soft. Hardly any contact at all. Here's a chance. Left foot shot is driven that time from Engel from 25 yards out, and it's blocked inside the penalty area for Sunderland. That one's cut back towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, what a sharp finish that is from Sam Greenwood at the edge of the 6-yard area on the left-hand side. Ball drilled across, and he's poked it home from a tight angle. Patterson's beaten, and it's Greenwood with a goal, and Middlesbrough in front in the derby. It's Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 1.
Well, I've got to say, Engels took a shot from distance. It's come out. They're just keeping the pressure on, winning those second balls. Excellent ball across, and I think Sam Greenwood, as he just poked it with the outside of his right foot into the opposite top right-hand corner. Fantastic finish. It's just about getting across the front of your man there and just having the quality with the connection to steer it goalwards. It's an excellent goal, and it was always coming. I think Middlesbrough are completely controlling this game with that extra man. They're really making Sunderland suffer.
It's a thunderous finish from Greenwood to give Middlesbrough the lead here at the Stadium of Light. Talking of goals, in the Premier League at Kenilworth Road, it's Luton 0, Spurs 1. Spurs reduced to 10 men just before half-time. Yves Bissouma sent off, but Mickey van der Ven has scored 7 minutes into the second half for the 10 men of Spurs. They lead by a goal to 0. That's live right now on Game Day exclusive over on Talksport. Here on Talksport 2, Middlesbrough have the advantage at the Stadium of Light, and they're looking a little rampant now. Isaiah Jones into Crooks, back to Isaiah Jones again, who goes down at the edge of the penalty area for the challenge of 09. Well, that to me looked like a free kick. Isaiah Jones is frustrated it wasn't given. Jared Gillett, the man in the middle, under a lot of pressure following those 2 yellow cards for Dan Neil before half time. I thought that was a foul on Jones then.
Well, I'm scared to say anything now in case she's not coming for me. No, I'm looking at it. It's a great little ball from Matt Crooks to Isaiah Jones in behind. You know, I think he's got there first. Anand's committed to the challenge. I don't think there's any contact in the to the player, but it's still a dangerous challenge.
Here's Jones again down this right-hand side. On the charge, he's going at Clark. Skips past Clark to the byline. Isaiah Jones to Crooks, and it's 2-0. Inside the 6-yard area, and it's Matt Crooks with his third goal of the season for Middlesbrough, and it's become very easy now for Michael Carrick's side against the 10 men of Sunderland. Jones with a clever play, lovely ball across the 6-yard area, and Crooks with the simplest to finish from 4 yards out. And it's Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 2.
Well, Isaiah Jones he's just having a fantastic second half, getting the ball, being direct, taking players on. You know, I think coming into the obviously the 18-yard box, driving into the 6-yard box, got his head up there. Excellent ball from Matt Crooks. And you know, when you're a big striker, you've broke your neck to get into that position. Just put it again right into the top right-hand corner, the roof of the net. Good contact, and thoroughly deserved. But it was always going to be difficult, wasn't it, for Sunderland this second half?
Kind of striker's dream, that ball, wasn't it, for that finish from Greenwood. There's kick-off for Sunderland. I mean, what does Tony Mowbray do now? Are you just looking to minimise the damage, or are you trying to find a way with 10 men when you're 2-0 down back into this game?
See, you've got to remember, like, Sunderland are going well, you know, and I think you've got 2 weeks with international break as well. You don't want to be getting battered from one of your local rivals as well. I think Faye, when she asked that question about the international break, does it make that loss any different? It does, you know. So that will be playing in the back of Tony Mowbray's mind. I think he'll still have a belief that they can try and be more of a threat, of sure, but they've got to take necessary risks now, and that just leaves them open. So you have to make your mind up. You're 2-0 down. You want to put a good show on for the fans. 47,000 plus here today. So it's one of them, you know. If it's 2-0, 5-0, is it any different? Yes, it is, because it really batters the confidence of the players. But they know Dan Neil getting the red card before half time, it's a pivotal moment in this game.
2 goals in 2 minutes when you're a man down is always a devastating body blow, isn't it? Here's a free kick swung over towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Couple of deflections and out. What will be a corner on this right-hand side for Middlesbrough as they turn up the heat, looking for goal number 3. That's only Sam Greenwood's second ever senior goal. The other one, of course, he scored. It was a real cracker for Leeds in the Premier League, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he's found himself in some fantastic positions, you know. So again, I always throw that, you know, if you're scoring goals from wherever you are, you know, you're bringing something to the team. But he's a very, very good player. But I think Michael Carrick on the spin side of it was saying to his Middlesbrough side, go out, let's twist that sword a little bit now.
Sunderland a chance to clear away to our right-hand side. We've had 62 minutes of this game here at the Stadium of Light. It remains Sunderland 0, the 10 men of Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 2. Reminder, we're off to Old Trafford when we're done here at 3 o'clock today, where we'll enjoy Manchester United against Brentford. Bar is coming off in another change from Tony Mowbray. Chris Rigg is the player that's coming on. A lot of talk about Chris Rigg, of course. The youngster, he's just 16 years of age, the youngest league scorer for Sunderland against Southampton, of course. He was the youngest outfield player when he was just 15 as well.
Well, Chris Riggs just passed Luke O'Nien a little note. So he's I'm just trying to say who's having a little chat to, because I think formation's going to be changing.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Can you play a 3 at the back? Is that feasible when you're 2 down? As you go into more of a 4-4-1 and just try and...
Well, probably. I think that's probably the way that you would go. I think then there's a lot of... This note's getting passed around from player to player.
Who's going to eat it? That's the question. It's Joe Bellingham who's got it at the moment. They should do that. If they put it on edible paper, it's easy, you know.
One of my good friends, actually, ex-Sunderland as well, Ross Wallace, did you see when he was at Sheffield Wednesday, and I think it was at Daniel Farker that had put on, or was it Huddersfield, he'd passed on the note and he's read it, he's took it off the player that opposed him.
It looks like they've almost gone into a 4-1-3-1. It looks like Joe Bellingham is doing what Dan Neil was doing before, and they've gone to a flat back 4, doesn't it?
No, I think so, and I think with Bellingham again, with his athleticism, he can go up and get into those attacking areas when it's blatantly on to do so. but it's it just shows you asked that question about what will Tony Mowbray do now. It's about trying to get that next goal.
Well, part of the problem when you're down to 10 men and you've made that change and your most potent weapon, Jack Clark, you're suddenly saying, actually, you're playing as wing back. You are negating that threat, aren't you?
100%. But again, when you've got the likes of Clark and Trey Hume with the athleticism they've got, defensively they do a job, but when it's on to play, you need that outlet. But I think this formation works better, that they're going to be getting the ball in the attacking half rather than defending it and getting it in full-back areas.
This is Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, where it remains Sunderland, of 10 men of Sunderland, 0, Middlesbrough 2. And here's Isaiah Jones, who's got so much room now down this right-hand side. Lovely ball in. Coburn's coming in at the edge of the 6-yard box, tracked by Ballard all the way. And Ballard got a touch. And it's one of those where he's applauded the referee, who has given the corner. And I think Ballard's applauding because actually he wants the credit for getting a touch on that, as opposed to it being a goal kick.
I thought the referee had given a goal kick. I think Ballard, it's one of those, as a defender, you have to get in front of your man there. You have to make some sort of contact, but you have to put Coburn off. You always see it getting knocked into your own goal, but it was excellent defensive work again. Excellent ball from Isaiah Jones. Just putting it in the right minute. He's definitely on form, but he always has that ability to be.
Corner for Middlesbrough on the far side, right-footed swung right under the crossbar of Patterson, who has to punch away, and it's going to come in a second time here. In fact, it's going short to Tommy Smith, 25 yards out. Smith will shoot this time, and that's the fascinating thing, isn't it? In the first half, he had a gaping opportunity from the edge of the box where it all opened up to have a shot. He chose not to. This time, 25 yards out, better options around him, and he blasts it over the crossbar.
No,
Decisions.
I think in certain moments in this game suddenly has become a game that Middlesbrough, all the players are enjoying. They're all seeing a lot of the ball. They're really taking advantage because, let's get it right, in most games they're probably dominant with the ball anyway. When you've got a man less in the opposition, you really take advantage of that, but you can't be complacent, and that'll be the messages coming in from Michael Carrick.
Well, he's going to make a couple of changes here, Michael Carrick, probably reflective of that. We're going to see Emmanuel Latte out come on for Josh Coburn, and the boos, of course, after Coburn and Ballard squared up to each other on the stroke of half-time, or as that whistle was blown, following the rather intriguing finale. And Matt Crooks is going off, and we're going to see an introduction in this second half for Morgan Rogers, of course, who they picked up from Manchester City in the summer. Not contributed much in his appearances so far, so I think Michael Carrick, seeing this with there only being 10 for the opposition, a chance maybe for Rodgers to gain a bit of confidence.
No, exactly. I think it's important, isn't it? A game where you're going to see a lot of the ball, you're going to create a lot of chances. You still have to go on and earn the right and work hard defensively and get on the ball and showcase what you're about. But yes, it's definitely a game that you can definitely get the confidence up of certain players and get some minutes in the legs as well, competitive minutes.
I think there was a little bit of stuff being thrown from the supporters when they were celebrating that first goal for Greenwood. It's getting a little bit rowdy away to our right hand side in the Roker end. The player's just been stopped for a moment by Jared Gillett. Some of the stewards getting involved as well. What we did see is why Isaiah Jones coming over after he created that second goal, putting his finger to his lips to the Sunderland supporters. And actually, I think what it's given is a moment for both teams just to regroup for a second. I think if there is an issue in the Roker stand away to our right hand side, maybe it's a medical issue, that's being dealt with right now. Both teams with an opportunity to regroup. Jared Gillett as well, just taking a moment down on halfway. So in the meantime, it gives me a chance to talk you through some of the live football coming up across the Talksport network in the coming days, of course, and the coming week, and international time once more. So we've got live international football for you on the way. But before all of that, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, it's Manchester United against Brentford. And in fact, why don't we get the team news on that game? We got it live and exclusive this afternoon with Perry Groves and Ian Danter. And Ian Danter's waiting with the team news for us now.
Afternoon to you, Adam. 2 changes for Manchester United, and Harry Maguire makes his first Premier League start since the final game of last season against Fulham. As one of those 2 changes, Johnny Evans is also brought in. That probably means that Sofian Amrabat will move into midfield. Varane and Hannibal are the two players that drop out from the side that lost to Galatasaray. As for Brentford, they make two changes and there's a changing goal. Thomas Strakosha is preferred to Mark Flecken in goal, and also Mads Roerslev comes in. Looks like Brentford are going to play three at the back. The other player missing out is Keane Lewis Potter. We're live once you're done at the Stadium of Light, Adam. 3 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League. Manchester United against Brentford.
Yeah, thank you, Ian. Perry alongside you this afternoon. I mean, what a crucial game that is for Manchester United to try and get some confidence going. They were, of course, talking about momentum ahead of losing to Crystal Palace and then Galatasaray as well. So how can they shift things up before they head into the international break? Brentford need some points as well. Should be an intriguing encounter, and it's live once we're done here at the Stadium of Light this afternoon here on Talksport 2, while of course Game Day Live will be on Talksport with Adrian and the team from 2:30 this afternoon. We're going to see a yellow card. Well, I mean, that's the intriguing thing. Cards out from Jared Gillett on that far side, and he's showing the card to Patrick Roberts, who was having a little pull at the shirt then as the charge was on down that left-hand side from Greenwood. Not dissimilar to what happened to Jack Clarke in the first half that didn't get a yellow card.
And this is what, you can always say there's inconsistencies there, but you're looking at the same thing. He allowed the play to go on. He punished it the same as well, so yeah, I understand your argument there, and I think you're spot on. Patrick Roberts as well, I think there's enough of the defensive unit back that you just make sure that it's basically direct run into your goal and try and get into position, but someone has to come out of that defensive line.
Here's the free kick from Middlesbrough, just off the angle of the penalty area. Patterson will punch. He got clattered in the process. He went down. The referee says play on, and Isaiah Jones shoots from a tight angle. And Dan Ballard is furious with the assistant on the near side, or somebody, I think, just to say, hang on a minute, Dieng got caught three times in the first half, and every time it was a free kick. Patterson's been clattered there and nothing.
Well, it was Lassie Lath that came through. Patterson there came out, good strong hands, made the connection. I was tell you what, look at that, it's excellent. That's what you want to do. I think Michael Carrick's put on Lassie Lath there, and he's chasing everything, being aggressive, the challenging Patterson, and then going putting was it Trey Hume, I think, there under as much pressure as he possibly could.
Thrown on the far side, taken quickly as Sunderland try to get out down this left-hand touchline with Trey Hume. Hume is charging forward with the ball, did brilliantly, lay off to Clarke, now on to Hume, and he just can't get control of it, and it's had a play for what will be a throw-in on this near side for Middlesbrough on this near touchline.
Well, I've got to say, I think Jack Clarke, I don't think there was anything wrong with the ball. I think Hume has to just, rather than try and take a touch and control it, maybe just roll his man. He's actually clear, just kind of take control of the ball and take it forward. You don't have to stop the ball.
Break on through the centre circle, outside of the right boot. Rodgers into the path of Jones inside the penalty area. Well-timed run, excellent finish. Isaiah Jones gets his reward, and it's 3 for Middlesbrough. He's been brilliant in this second half, Jones, and now he gets his goal. It's 2-2, second of the season, consecutive games, consecutive goals, and it's the calmest of finishes by Isaiah Jones, and that's game, set and match. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 3.
Well, it's an excellent run, isn't it? He takes a touch, and I'm still thinking he's going to take a shot on straight away. A little fade, chops it onto his left, and then still doesn't just pull the trigger, just allows the ball to roll a little bit more. Defensively, I think it was Ballard that's came into position, but then he just slots it in. Ballard can't do anything there. It's an excellent finish from Isaiah Jones, and he has been the main man this second half.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's never scored in consecutive games before, so it's first for him. Confidence is flowing. Admittedly, against 10 men, he's found so much more space in this second half, hasn't he?
And that's one of the things, he has the potential to do that, even when you're playing against a full-strength side, but he's that direct. He has how he manipulates the ball excellently well, and it's just his decision-making in that attacking third. Second half, it's been spot on.
Well, the former Sunderland player, Ali McCoy, is not going to be very happy on Monday morning when he returns to Talksport breakfast from his charity bike ride. Andy Townsend with him. They'll be talking to Piers Morgan as well when they return for breakfast on Monday as Sunderland go on the counter here. Of course, Piers will be talking about his interview with Zlatan Ibrahimovic for Talk TV, and I'm sure he'll be talking about Arsenal against Manchester City, which of course takes place tomorrow afternoon. So don't miss breakfast on Monday morning. Ali's back, Andy Townsend with him, and Piers Morgan. Whether you like him or not, it'll be entertaining, that's for sure. we're going to see another change, and it's a double change again for Middlesbrough. And we're going to see the introduction this time of Samuel Silvera and Marcus Fors as well. They're about to enter the fray to join the substitutes already out there of Latte Laff and Morgan Rogers. And we're going to, first player coming off is Sam Greenwood, and you can hear the boos as he departs. And he is replaced, as we say, by Silvera, and also Isaiah Jones. Now he's scored his goal, he's replaced by Fors. And I guess in some ways you look at these changes, and it's a strength on that bench as well for Michael Carrick here. He's able to, I know we've got an international break coming, but he's able to take his starters off, and actually he's still bringing on some real quality.
Real good quality with
Fors, Silvera.
Yeah, the experience as well, you know, and that's something that I think when you look at the Sunderland side, you know, it's not like for like that's coming on. You know, it's players that can do a job, but for a period of time. You look at this Middlesbrough side, the quality and depth, you know, that's why they will be right up there. They've had a poor start, but they've kicked on massively now.
There's a chance maybe down that right hand side for Sunderland. On the attack towards the edge of the penalty area was Roberts. He was set up on that occasion by the advancing Celt, and then the throw-in has gone Middlesbrough's way. And Roberts, well, he wants to be careful. He's just been booked, and he's just chopped the ball down. And Jared Gillett just blowing his whistle to tell everyone to calm down. And a change for Sunderland, and well, we're going to see Jack Clark come off. Probably no point running him into the ground in the rest of this game. Russian is coming on to replace him. And what will be the final change really for Sunderland in this game? And no surprise, we are into the final 15 minutes. And they trail by 3-0 already. Large swathes of the Stadium of Light departing, but not in the top tier away to our left-hand side in the North Stand. They're in full voice, the Middlesbrough supporters, who've made the trip, as we said, somewhere around 30 miles. Faces 25, I said 32. Let's split the difference between the two stadiums. And, well, we know that, of course, it'll be the Middlesbrough workplaces that'll be happiest on Monday. Here's a chance. Oh, it's going to be 4, is it? No! And Latte Laff with a shot from the edge of the penalty area. Decent run, he did the hard part, worked towards the edge of the box, got the shooting opportunity, and then blasted it over the crossbar.
Yeah, he's getting himself into great positions, you know, has that movement, manipulated the ball, just the connection, you know, get your body over it and make sure that you keep it low. I think Unai was putting all sorts of pressure under him as well, but again, he's got that quality, Latte Laff.
A reminder, throughout October, the EFL is looking to work together against racism. Football is a game for everyone. If you witness racist or discriminatory abuse, you can report it directly to your club through Kick It Out, the EFL's online reporting form. Of course, if you're in a stadium, by alerting a steward. A few isolated cases recently, particularly that one at Birmingham City. Bakuna was alleged to have been racially abused by one of his own supporters, but we work together. We can try to kick it out, that's for sure. Free kick for Sunderland, 10 yards short of halfway. That's why there's the ironic cheers that Jared Gillett has given that free kick. Middlesbrough, well, as we say, they've lost 3 of their last 5 visits here. That only win was back in 2016. But their record in recent times has been very good. And this will be a 5th victory this century between these two sides when they've met in the league. As the foul's conceded. And it's going to be a free kick again for Middlesbrough midway inside the Sunderland half, as this game just wears down. 3-0 to Middlesbrough, punishing the 10 men of Sunderland. It was a really intriguing first half, lacking in real goalmouth quality, but a really good game of football. But the sting taken out of it by that second yellow card for Dan Neil just before half-time. The ball back with Dieng. And the Olays are on from the Middlesbrough supporters away to our left-hand side, just to rub salt into the wound.
Yeah, and this is where it's all about discipline as well. Yeah, you've got to try and be competitive, work that extra little bit harder, Sunderland, but make sure that you don't get too frustrated and just get a little bit of head loss, see red, challenge goes in, and give the referee some more decisions to make.
Well, Chris Rigg is certainly working hard as the lone up front runner there for Sunderland, chasing down everything. And the Olays coming as they just ping it around across the back. Ballard again getting involved, and he Needs to be careful, does Ballard. A few flailing arms. I think, if anything, he was the one who's being fouled there potentially by Marcus Forss, who's on the charge down the right-hand side. Rogers, infield. Latte Lath at the edge of the penalty area. Skips away from the first challenge. Gets it out wide on the left-hand side. Engel gets it inside the box and the driven shot is blocked. It was coming in from Samuel Silvera. And in the end, it's well cleared from the edge of the 6-yard box for Sunderland.
Well, Silvera just gave Marcus Forss a terrible look, because it's him that's came off the back of there. You know, done ever so well. Found himself in the about 13 yards on an angle inside the box, and just the goal is there to be shot at, and Marcus Forss just runs across the path of Silvera there, so he wasn't too happy.
Keeping possession well here at the moment, Middlesbrough. That's a good challenge. Now maybe a chance for a counter. Out wide on this left-hand side. Edge of the penalty. And the driven shot is saved by Dieng. Low down to his right-hand side. There was a left-foot shot that was well blasted in by Hussein. And it was a good save, gathered at the second attempt by Dieng.
Well, Chris Rigg, you know, he's come on, had a lot to do there. He's just thinking on his left foot, make sure it's low, it's hard. And Dieng, just good save on his near post there, but couldn't keep hold of it. But he gathered the rebound of it as well. But these are little opportunities. I think Chris Rigg, when he's 1v1 like that, can he get in the box and just get at his man?
He's looking to charge down this left-hand side. It's Hume, gets the ball out wide on this near touchline where he finds Rusyn again. Back in field on that occasion, and controlled nicely by Bellingham, who shifts it out wide to that right-hand side for Sunderland. Actually keeping the ball for a moment here. Selt, Bellingham, edge of the centre circle, turns away. Looked quite familiar, the gate there as he did that. And it's on that far touchline. Roberts wants it, has it, gets support, that time from Selt again. Bellingham going back inside his own half. Fourth straight win in the Championship, this for Middlesbrough. Now start closing in on those playoff places with this victory. They move up onto 14 points. Fourth win of the campaign. Started slowly last year and came very good under Michael Carrick. You get the feeling that the same thing might be starting to happen again. All about that momentum. Luke O'Nien out wide on this left-hand side. He's just overhit the pass. A little too much on it. And out of play for a throw-in. And a final change for Middlesbrough then. Alex Bangura is the player who will come on, and he's going to replace Lucas Engel. As we enter the last 9 minutes or so of this game, it remains Luton 0, Spurs 1 over on Talksport on Game Day exclusive. Remember, Game Day Live coming up with Adrian Durham, Ray Parler and Trevor Sinclair as they go around the grounds, saw the goals first year. Full classified check as well. That's on Talksport from 2:30 this afternoon once they finished at Kenilworth Road. And here, of course, we're off to Old Trafford. A couple of changes for Manchester United today. A couple for Brentford as well, including a change of goalkeeper too. Harry Maguire getting a start in the Premier League for Manchester United this afternoon. That game live with Perry and with Ian Danta kicking off at 3 o'clock. All the build-up to come once the full-time whistle goes here at the Stadium of Light.
You look at that now, the challenge Michael Carrick's thrown to his players, you know, the first clean sheet of the season. In the last game, the win against Cardiff, so it's about, again, not conceding here today, very much in control. I don't understand why they're playing in the defensive third. Obviously you have to manage the game. Sunderland are still going to have moments, but they've got to try and, like you say, use the ball better. You know, they're inviting Sunderland on, and I think it's probably a bit of a game plan to try and go and score the next goal, but they don't need to. Just make sure you're solid at the back, you're playing in the right areas of the pitch, and like you say, try and get it forward as often as you can in those wide areas, because they're causing Sunderland all sorts of problems.
Well, the restrictions numbers-wise on the local derby, just under 44,000 here today, which for the Championship, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Outstanding.
A few of them are left, to be fair. And here come Middlesbrough again, leading by 3-0 against the 10 men of Sunderland. Silvera, he's got Rogers inside him. Silvera tries to show great strength and does get the better this time of Rusyn and helps it on its way. Charles to force to pull it back, and arriving at the edge of the 6-yard box was Latte Lath to look for the finish again, but never got there. A challenge from Forss was a little exuberant maybe on Nazare Rusyn, and it will be a free kick for Sunderland.
Well, I think Ruthven just he waited for the challenge. He took the ball away, but he just kind of left his foot in there for Force to have a little nibble at there.
Ballard forward for Sunderland towards halfway. He's taken down that time his rig, and he's won a free kick, much to the delight of those that are left from the home support. There are a fair few empty seats who've chosen to take the option of beating the traffic. 6.5 minutes plus added time to play. Ball over the top from Bellingham. Chase was on for Rig, and it's headed away comfortably by McNair. And now to play for a throw-in on that far side.
Well, it's one of them. I think Middlesbrough, they're defending well. They're just trying to kind of shut out Sunderland here. They've not really got many options. It's very, very difficult. They're moving the ball quick, Sunderland, but I think Middlesbrough, positioning-wise, are just kind of being very, very compact, very hard to break down, and then when they get the ball, it's expansive, it's keeping the ball, it's making Sunderland work very, very better.
It's a decent run down this left-hand side. Left-footed ball played across, takes a deflection. Chance for Roberts maybe to get that goal, and Dieng just shepherds across as it bounces agonisingly off of a deflection and wide of the right-hand post of Dieng. And just for a moment, I think Roberts thought he was breaking his duck for the season, and it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, it's fantastic play against Sunderland, and that's what it takes, players just getting on the ball and driving and committing, taking players on. Great little ball across there. Roberts makes a connection, but it's just deflected wide.
Corner comes in. Oh, and a chance in the 6-yard box. It almost fell to Ballard, and it spins away and out of play for a goal kick away to our left-hand side, and that opportunity for a clean sheet remains intact for Middlesbrough. 5 minutes to go here. They lead 3-0. Live on Talksport 2.
Well, that's just come off the thigh of Chris Rigg right on the 6-yard line, but he's running away from goal. It's taken a little a little flick on. It's come off the thigh of Rigg, and you think, it's as a player, if you anticipate, just try and steer it goalwards, because there is a lot of pace on the cross coming in.
Force does well, gets it in towards the feet that time of Silveira, but intercepted. Ball chipped forward down this left-hand touchline, and Nazariadushin away again towards the corner flag. Just holds the ball up really well. He's under plenty of pressure, but he's done his job there, and he's done it particularly well. As the ball is pinged inside the centre circle for Joe Bellingham once more. Roberts now wide on that right-hand side. Chance to run towards that Middlesbrough penalty area maybe. Here's Bellingham again. Bellingham dinks it over the top because the run into the box had been made by Roberts, and Rigg was in there as well, but it comes back to Ballard on halfway, and he'll look at the options around him. Short again he goes to Bellingham, who's pulling all the strings in that midfield. That's a man light, of course. Lovely flick. Ballard nicely into Roberts on the charge towards the edge of the box, shifts it out wide to the right hand side. Set with a shot, and Dieng has to block it behind with both hands, and it goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's fantastic play again, really. And this is down to Middlesbrough taking the foot off the gas. They're allowing Sunderland to get into wide areas. Fantastic shot there, straight at Dieng as well. Just boom, put it over the bar for a corner. They're keeping the pressure on Sunderland.
Bellingham works the shot onto his right foot, left-hand side of the penalty area from the edge of the box, but it's well wide of Dieng's goal away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, again, Bellingham there getting into good areas. A lot of Sunderland shots in the box as well, centrally. So I think it's a bit naive just to take the shot from that area. Just put it into the danger area, be competitive, contest it, and then ask that question.
Still 1-0 to Spurs over on Talksport right now. Playing with 10 men, of course, but doing the job against Luton at Kenilworth Road. And Middlesbrough have more than done the job here against the 10 men of Sunderland. I would like to have wondered how this game was going to pan out had it stayed 11 v 11. Ballard and Latte Laf just having a shove on this near side. The throw-in's going to be taken, and those that are left just trying to spark up the Sunderland players a little more in that Roker end away to our right-hand side. It's where the flags were waving and the teams came out in that start of the game. The Middlesbrough supporters are all on their feet in the upper tier of the North Stand away to our left-hand side. As right-footed that ball is played forward down this near touchline. Chase on for fours. He's back there again, is Ballard, the Northern Ireland international, who, has certainly stood out for me in that red and white shirt today. I think him and O'Neill have been excellent in that back line for Sunderland in fairly difficult circumstances, particularly in the second half. Patterson gets it out from under his feet. shifts it wide to that right-hand side. Too much on it. Celt's not going to chase it. And out for a throw on the far side for Middlesbrough.
No, they have had moments, Sunderland. I think, like you say, I think just using the ball better, trying to play it into the flanks, into the wide areas. They're getting a lot of joy down both sides. But like you say, Middlesbrough just now are just saying, right, okay, we don't need to have it all the time. And when we do got it, we'll just keep possession. We're not going to go and try and get that next goal. Then they're allowing Sunderland to kind of step up a little bit higher in this game.
89 minutes tick round on the big clock away to our right-hand side at the Stadium of Light. Here they are looking for a fourth. Lattelat with a shot, good save. The rebound from Fors, and it is 4. And it's Marcus Fors who adds it for Middlesbrough. The rout is complete against the 10 men of Sunderland, and it's the Borough who will go home happy into the international break, continuing that momentum. A 4th championship win of the season, a 4th championship win in a row. And Sunderland are crestfallen. The 10 men wander back towards halfway. Middlesbrough celebrate. They've got the bragging rights in the derby. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 4.
Well, I'm looking at Marcus Forster. It's an excellent goal. He's breaking his neck to make sure that he's in the right position. It's cut back. And like you say, I think Patterson's already went to his near post. He's out of the game. And you just have to make sure, concentrate. Good connection. Biggest pit of the foot and just puts it into the empty net. Well worked goal. And I think it's just, you see the heads going down a little bit. 5 minutes as well. Added time, Adam.
Hadn't scored since the 26th of August. He'll take that today, though. It's almost like picking fruit off the tree, that one. Quite comfortable, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, you know, you're in there. He broke his neck to be there. He knew the ball was coming in, and like you say, he executed it fantastically well.
We're into the 5 added minutes. Middlesbrough looking for a 5th here. Slip down this right-hand side. The offside flag going up. No, it's not. Lattelat is on it. Cuts it across to the far edge of the penalty area, where he picks out Bangura. Bangura by the byline. Ballard goes to close him down. Little turn from Fors, and the challenge comes in, and a good challenge from 09. And there's arms being waved around at Jarrett Gillett saying, how was that not offside?
Yeah, there's about four of the Sunderland players having a chat with the linesman. It's not happy at all, but you know what, the decision's been made. You have to go on with it. Again, Middlesbrough really using the ball well. Good movement there. Force trying to roll this man, take it to the round the outside, but good defending in the end from Ballard.
Taken short this time, this corner. And here's Hackney. Lifts that one into the penalty area. Hackney's going to be playing in, well, certainly has been picked for the under-21s. He'll be heading off with that squad. And safely in the arms of Patterson. Away to our right-hand side. Big win this for Middlesbrough. Momentum coming from Michael Carrick's side right now. Look, a real danger in that championship, despite that start to the season. And I mean, they'd have learnt last season with a poor start, still managing to get into the playoffs. There'd have been no panic, would there?
No, definitely not. You know, but under different stewardship, I think Michael Carrick's come in and galvanised that group of players. You know, I think, like you say, Chuba Akpom going second 2 games into this campaign, you know, it affects the squad, but Michael Carrick, an absolute class act, just kept on drilling the positives into the players, saying, you know, if we keep playing like this, we will turn it around. And at the minute, they're definitely on the crest of that wave.
Early days, Leeds in 16th, of course. In 6th place with 16 points. Borough will go 14th with 14. 2 points separating 6th to 14th, but it is early days.
Yeah, there's a lot of football to be played.
There is, but let's remember, that's how that table looked for much of last season. You go 6th to 14th, there was always 3 or 4 points between them, and that was about it. I think we're in for a bumper championship.
Well, I think the scary thing, Leicester's not really got going yet. You know, they have little flashes in games, but in those flashes they're scoring 2, 3, 4 goals. When they click, I think they'll run away with it.
There's a foul there on Ballard inside the centre circle. We're into the final 2 minutes of time added on. Ballard is still going at referee Jared Gillett, I think. Maybe not quite with the laden expletives that Dan Neal's alleged to have said, which earned him that second yellow card, which kind of killed this game just before half-time. Here's Bellingham, who's working tirelessly in that midfield, but it's out of play for a throw on the far side to Sunderland, 5 yards inside the Middlesbrough half. Taken on that right-hand side by Roberts. Infield it comes, down this left-hand side. 09 to Ballard. Far side is Selt. Coming back to Patterson, who's going to have to go long, is he? No, he goes out to this left-hand side. Picked up again by 09. Closed down. Coming forward in the middle is Hayoch. And it's out of play for what will be a throw-in to Sunderland, midway inside the Middlesbrough half. So we head towards the final minute of the 5 added on by Jared Gillett here at the Stadium of Light, as more fans make their way for the exits. Here's Roberts looking to try and find a goal to dent that Middlesbrough day. So far it's been perfection. 4 goals, clean sheet, as they try to lift the ball into the penalty area. Trying to pull it in that time on that far side, but again, not quite able to get beyond the first defender. Here's 09 inside the centre circle. On his left foot, goes out wide to this left-hand side. There again, it's gathered up by Trey Hume. Chipped forward by 09. Into Ward's trying to find Rigg. There is Rigg, who does pick it up this time. Bellingham wide on the far side to Roberts. Maybe a chance here for Sunderland. Roberts on the charge, edge of the penalty, on his left foot, against his former side. And that kind of sums up Sunderland's day. High, wide, and not very handsome. And we're into the final few seconds at the end of this game. And a game that in the second half has been completely dominated by Middlesbrough after that second yellow for Dan Neil and the resultant red card in the 49th minute of that first half. And it's going to be Seny Dieng away to our left-hand side, who's going to launch this forward. And that surely will be the last action of this game, because the 5 minutes are up. Jared Gillett puts his whistle to his lips, and well, no wonder there are boos, probably directed predominantly at Jared Gillett, his officials, in the eyes of the Sunderland supporters that are left here. The game was taken away from them in the 49th minute of that first half, with Dan Neil's second yellow card for expletives towards the referee, Jared Gillett, over a decision that didn't go his way. Second half, Borough took full advantage of Sunderland's 10 men. Sam Greenwood with only his second senior goal. Matt Crooks just 2 minutes later with the real body blow, his third of the season. Isaiah Jones for the first time in his career with goals in consecutive games on 72 minutes. And Marcus Fors gets his second of the campaign on the stroke of full time to give Borough the momentum. Borough the bragging rights. A 4th championship win in a row lifts them up to within 2 points of the playoffs, and it sends Michael Carrick's side away into the international break in terrific form. Sunderland dented, but not too dispirited, I would think. We'll find out what Tony Mowbray's got to say afterwards. But it's the bragging rights to Middlesbrough when it comes to the Teeswear derby. It's finished at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 4.
Thank you very much, Adam Bridge. Chris, the red card just changed the game completely, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And that's I think you already alluded to before the game, Faye, about the age of this squad, and they have to get up to speed very, very quickly with experience, moments, and a game when, you know, he had no reason to have a go at the referee. It doesn't matter for an earlier challenge in that phase of play. You know, they've got a goal kick, and like you say, it's poor. It has changed the game, but it's one of those they're going to have to bounce back from in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, we talked about what the international break then does, you know, and zaps the momentum out. But the momentum that Middlesbrough have at the minute is pretty incredible. And actually, it was that sucker punch of 2 goals in 2 minutes from the 58th and 60th minute, Greenwood and then Matt Crooks as well, that really turned it on its head. And it felt as if Sunderland just couldn't get back into it after that.
Yeah, when you're down to 10 men, I think the defensive unit just comes together for Sunderland and say, you know what, let's just not concede, put as much pressure on Middlesbrough as we can, and we're going to have certain moments in this game. And that wasn't to be. Isaiah Jones was unplayable second half. You know, he was so creative. Greenwood, good movement as well, excellent finish, you know, just to get across the front of a man. Little one with the outside of the right foot right into the top right hand corner, and then obviously it was the Isaiah Jones show after that. Very, very hard when you're a man down. You have to work extra, you have to be better on the ball, decision making. But Middlesbrough, you know, they dominate most games anyway, Faye, when they're up against full strength sides, so it was always going to be a difficult second half.
It was, and as you say, Isaiah Jones absolutely incredible and awarded the player of the match, deservedly so as well. He was given so much space in that second half and fully took advantage. Chris, safe journey home. Lovely to talk to you as always.
Pleasure, thank you, Faye.
See you soon. 2 goals in 2 minutes then ultimately saw all 3 points travelling 32 miles/25 miles south to Teesside.